This video is a series of road trips that we took throughout 2022, so come along with us as we show you some of these awesome places throughout the highlands of central Mexico. Right now, we are walking into the second most haunted place in the entire country. Hello from Hidalgo, Mexico. This is our very first road trip together.
We came here to find some escamoles and also to show you some of our favorite places here, because Hidalgo is full of so many lovely nature and a lot of history and also some kind of magical creatures that you're going to enjoy in this video.
Today for breakfast we came into town, into Huasca de Ocampo, and we brought Laska. For breakfast, I found this place that's pet friendly. It's called La Casa de la Tia, and looking at their menu, it looks like all of their breakfasts are paquetes or packages, and they include coffee or tea, like a lemon cake kind of thing, I believe it is. It says panque on the menu. I believe it's going to be de limon. Fruit, and then yogurt and granola. So you get all of that for somewhere between 100 and 150 pesos, depending on which option you choose. You know what would make this panque so much better? Heat it up and then adding butter. Your plate looks amazing.
It's too hot. It's so good and not spicy. I like it. So today I ordered this dish called huevos aporreados or blanquillos aporreados, which basically blanquillos is another way to call eggs here in Mexico. When you order huevos aporreados in any other restaurant, it's basically like a soup with the eggs and some kind of meat or nopales. In this case, it's not like a soup, but it has a lot of sauce on it. So it's basically like scrambled eggs with pieces of cecina and a red sauce, which is not spicy at all. And it has a quesadilla in one of the sides and frijoles refritos, or just the beans with a couple of totopos. So I'm really enjoying this because most of the time I don't like soups. I don't like to be eating a lot of liquid stuff, but in this case it's perfect because it has the perfect amount of sauce, and better for me that I don't like spicy things. It is not spicy at all, so you can try it as well.
And for breakfast, I got the tlacoyos, which is a food that you usually see like around the state of Morelos, around the state of Mexico. But basically it's usually a corn dough folded into like a little boat-shaped thing. In this case it has beans inside. Sometimes it has like ricotta cheese, and Laska just escaped. Okay, I'm back. We got the escapee. But yeah, so it has beans inside, and then on top there's like lettuce and radish and cheese and a cream. So I'll give this a try here. I like it, but you know what I think would make it really good? Is if I stole some of her meat and put it on here. I finally found a restaurant where I was able to pay with a card, but something I've noticed being in Huasca de Ocampo and the surrounding areas is almost every place is cash only. So if you're coming here, be sure to hit the ATM first. One of the tourist attractions in Huasca de Ocampo is Museo de los Duendes. And a duende is a goblin, an elf, or a fairy. All of these small human-like creatures fall into the category of duendes, and there's a strong belief by many of the locals here that these creatures exist here in this area. So today we're heading to the Museum of the Goblins. So it's pretty cool. On this trip with us we have several generations of your family. You have everyone from your little cousin to your parents, your grandparents.
This is a very special trip for us because we are sharing this experience with a lot of my family members. So here we go. We are right now at the Goblins Museum or something
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
like goblins, trolls, gnomes, elves, something like that. I don't know the exact translation because they say it's elves, but to me they don't really... Well, some of them look like elves, but not all of them.
¿Estás lista para el museo?
Sí.
Sí. Vamos.
Walking in here was like coming into another world. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm feeling a lot of things here. It's very interesting. I mean, I'm not scared, but I perfectly like it. I have a different feelings than the one I have when I'm outside of this place. So for me, it's a little bit interesting because it's like a very like weird sensation that I've never had before. So I don't know.
You're able to feel a lot of energies and stuff that I'm not able to. So
Yeah.
it's interesting to hear your perspective too.
And it's not everywhere, it's just certain places. I feel like I'm getting cold, but it's not that I'm getting cold. And I'm feeling like a little bit of shaking chills. And you can like also see it in my skin.
Yeah, goosebumps. Piel de
Yeah,
gallina.
exactly. But I like this place. I love this place. I can feel a lot of mysticism everywhere. So I don't know. Maybe we can find a surprise when we're watching a video of the edition. So I don't know. Let's just enjoy it.
After you finish seeing the museum, you can come into this gift shop where they sell rocks and duendes and mushrooms and different kind of souvenirs like that. Mine got a couple of dream catchers in this gift shop here, and she likes Kelpie here. So Kelpie's a little baby elf, so I think we're going to get Kelpie as well. What are your thoughts on the Duende Museum?
I love it. I mean, it's a different experience. I love that place because I can feel a lot of things, as I said before, but also it's like so full of magic everywhere. And I've always thought that this place chooses you. You are not here like just because of a coincidence or something. So I don't know. It's like this little guy we adopted. I always love coming back here. Most of people might say like, oh, I don't see anything interesting here, but for me, it's like a whole experience full of a lot of things.
And I thought it was kind of cool. Like, even though I can't feel anything here, I just thought it was a pretty neat place. And to get in here, it's 40 pesos a person, so cool experience for not too much money.
And now we are taking our short 8 minutes ride to Hacienda San Miguel Regla.
Right now, we are walking into the second most haunted place in the entire country.
This is called Hacienda San Miguel Regla, which was one of the properties of Pedro Romero de Terreros.
And this guy was one of the richest guys in the world, and back in the 1700s, he was actually the mayor of Querétaro, and this hacienda was one of his homes, and he founded, you said, Huasca de Ocampo. Okay, and apparently he killed his daughter, his only daughter, in a very violent way.
Right here.
Right here. So now we're going to take a little tour. We're going to pay to take a tour. And we'll see what we find. The moment we walked into the very first building where the reception desk is, Mai was like, I don't like it here.
It feels weird.
As we're walking through here, the very first thing I notice is that this place is huge. There are so many buildings here, it's crazy. So far to me, this seems like an hacienda tour and not a ghost tour. Is that what we're doing? Just like a tour of the hacienda?
Yes. I mean, the hacienda, it's a hotel, but I don't know what else it's like you can do here, but yeah, we're basically doing the tour of the hacienda.
Okay, I was thinking it was like a ghost tour, but
trust me, you don't want that.
you gotta come here at night for the ghost tour.
No.
No.
The place you can look at our back is actually Bosque de las Truchas. This is not part of the hacienda. It's another sightseeing here at San Miguel Regla, where you can basically find a huge lake surrounded by a forest and a lot of trees, and you can go and take a boat with your family.
Take a paddle boat, a canoe, you can go
Yeah.
fishing, things like that. But yeah, that was a total surprise to see connected like right up against the hacienda here. It's pretty cool. I would love to go do it. And you were saying there's restaurants there as
Yeah,
well?
there's a lot of restaurants outside where you can like cook the fishes you like
Catch,
get at, like
yeah.
you catch there, or you can just find like many varieties of trucha,
Trout.
cooked. Yeah, so it's a very good option to have lunch here.
For every hacienda that there is around Mexico, there was a purpose to each one of them. For example, I've been to an hacienda near Mérida in the state of Yucatan that was used to produce henequen. Well, around here there were a lot of silver mines. So that's what they were doing here. They were like refining the silver that they were mining from the mountains.
Yeah, actually a lot of people here in Mexico or around the world think that hacienda is like a huge house, but actually no. To be called hacienda, it has to produce something like silver or henequen or whatever, because
Okay.
that's the main purpose of an hacienda. It's like a huge land with house, but that also produces something.
And there's always people that live on the land as well. Like
Yes.
there's many buildings around where various people live. There's usually a chapel. Like for example, I went to another hacienda that was where the Herradura tequila is made, and that was similar to this, although I think this is the biggest hacienda that I've been to. So guests staying here have seen a little girl playing with a ball right over here. So I don't see her right now.
If you're
But-
interested, you can stay there.
Yeah, they rent these rooms. I think they're like $100 to $200 a night, something like that. Yeah, so if you want to stay here, and you might have a interesting experience.
Yeah, if you like adrenaline, you should stay here.
But it's a very pretty property.
It is. Actually, I like it.
Just not some parts. Not in the cave, not at reception.
Yes.
What was the tour guide saying about the reception area? Because that's the very first place you were like, I don't like this.
She said that her friend, like she also works here, she had experienced paranormal things there. So she doesn't specify what, but
Okay.
she said that a lot of people have said that the reception has something.
Okay.
So now it makes sense because I really don't like that place. This place is lovely, even with a ghost. But
Yeah.
it's lovely.
Yeah, I was totally expecting a ghost tour, but it's actually a hacienda tour, and it is really nice. With the water around here, all the trees, the old buildings. It's a pretty cool place. I recommend it. I see cantaritos. Do you want a cantarito?
Maybe. Let's ask.
Okay. De piña or okay.
I don't know. This one is pretty.
So here, when you get your cantarito, you get to choose which one you want. And I went with a mushroom, and they all say San Miguel R for regla on it.
A ver, señorita, pruébele. Usted me dice si le ponemos más, le quitamos.
¿Está bien?
De tequila está
Sí,
bien.
está bien. Sí,
¿De verdad?
Sí.
What do you think?
It's refreshing. I mean, it's a little bit sweet, but not that much. And I can feel all flavors on it. Actually, cantarito is one of the most common and traditional cocktails that you can find like in local markets and things like that. So this is cute.
But normally when you get a cantarito, it's like a boring red clay. This one's painted all cool like this. And this thing with all this tequila in here prepared in front of you with the hand-painted cantarito that you get to keep. It was 90 pesos. I love it. I love the flavor of this. It's so good. So that dude who owned that last hacienda,
Pedro Romero de Terrero.
yeah, that dude, he actually had 3 haciendas in the area, and now we made the short drive to another one, like another 8 or 10 minutes down the road, and this one is Santa Maria Regla.
Regla, yes. And the other one we don't remember the name. Sorry.
Sorry. The last hacienda tour involved a lot of walking, and the grandparents with us were getting tired, but as a matter of fact, I am too, and the sun is hot today, and I don't have a pretty hat like Mai does. I tried finding a pretty hat for me, but my head's too big and they wouldn't fit.
Your head is not too big. Let's say that the hats were too small.
Okay, the hats were too small and they wouldn't fit. So now we're gonna go get lunch. And where are we going for lunch? Real del Monte? Okay, let's go. Are we getting those pasties that everyone's been talking about?
Because I've heard that the best pastes of Hidalgo are there at Real del Monte, so I hope we're lucky enough to get ones.
And after traveling all around Mexico, this is literally the only place you can get them, of anywhere that I've seen at least. This area keeps surprising me. There's so much to do and see here, and the little towns here are super pretty and pretty cool to visit. But right here are prismas basáticos, like balsade, or I forget the English translation, but naturally formed prisms. So I thought that's pretty cool. So in Huasca de Ocampo, there's actually a mural of Laska here. But while we're in front of Laska, I wanted to tell you about how pasties came here, because to me it's kind of an interesting story. These are actually Cornish pasties, as in from Cornwall, England. And the English came here because they had some of the most advanced mining technology in the world and were able to reach deeper into the mines to get that silver deep down into the ground. So those Cornwallians, or or whatever you call them, came here, and many other places around the world, and along with them brought their Cornish pasties, and now it's a staple of Huasca de Ocampo, and it's one of the most common things to get when you come here. Everyone has to get their pasties. Oh, I forgot to tell you, it was in the early 1800s when the English came to mine the silver in the area. But now we're going to drive back to our Airbnb and eat our pasties there. And now let me give you a tour of our Airbnb. This is about 10 minutes driving outside of Huasca de Ocampo. You come in through this gate here, down this nice long driveway. We actually have the whole house that we're renting. So it's me, and Laska's here as well. It's pet friendly, but a really nice property here. And then on the other side here, they have an exit with this nice long driveway, so you can drive your car out without having to back up onto the road. There's a little house for the kids. So right over my shoulder there is the front entrance, and then we come over here and there's this awesome little fire pit with chairs made out of tires. I love this so much. They even have a cup holder, which I think is big enough to fit a caguama, a Laska guama. And then over here they have some swings for the kids. Check this out, they made a motorcycle out of tires. There's a well here that I think is for decoration. I don't think this is actually drinkable water, but check out these views. Then you have a little duende here, making sure you stay safe. To our left here, we walk up here over to these stairs, and this is going to be like your barbecue area. There's a foosball table here as well. It's not free, it's 5 pesos per play, but still cool that they have it. And then you have a table to eat while you're grilling, and then a grill here. And also there's a bar there, but the chairs are all upside down on top of the bar. This place isn't totally done. I mean, it's basically finished. And right here, they're adding some parking spaces. It's almost finished. They just need to add some cement to fill in the cracks there. But yeah, this outdoor area, I love it. Oh, and then there's also, you go around that side of the house, and there's actually a small gym outside there for you as well.
I'm attacked by a lobo.
By a lobo. And you know how much this place is? After all Airbnb fees, $61 a night. We get this entire house where Laska can run all around. It has 3 bedrooms, it has 2 bathrooms, but I think my favorite part is the outdoor space here.
So this is the main entrance. We have a few steps outside, but it's okay because if you have any problem getting up those stairs, we have another entrance there. So right now we have the living room. It's a huge living room. It has like 2 couches, and even though they look a little bit simple, they are so comfortable, honestly. And I really like the fact that it has like a fireplace, but honestly it's not like a real fireplace, it's just like a simulation of a fireplace, but anyway it looks good. The huge TV is amazing, but honestly I don't think you're going to use it here because it's a lot of things to watch in the scene.
Oh, a big ass bug just flew in here. What the? Okay, so Mai got scared of the bug and now handed off the job of showing the Airbnb to me, which is okay. But as she was showing you in the living room, you have a couple of sofas there. I love the way this place is decorated, from the painting to the stuff on the wall. It's really nice. And then here you have a dining room for 8 people, a bar with 4 tables, a spacious kitchen over here as well. The kitchen is good enough for a short-term stay. You have your pots and pans. It's nothing special, but you have the essentials, a coffee maker, a blender, toaster oven, microwave, all those things. Over here is into the bedrooms, but you can close off the bedrooms from the rest of the house with these sliding glass doors, which is pretty nice. And then the first bathroom is over here, so toilet and shower. This bedroom, you have a bunk bed. There's some mattresses over there in case you have some extra people like we did. And then in this room, there's 2 twin beds. You have a desk here, and you also had a desk in the last one I showed you. And then we go into the master bedroom. You have a queen size bed. It's a pretty spacious room. There's another TV in here. So you have your bathtub and shower there. But yeah, you get all of this space. And if you're only 2 people like we were, the price after all Airbnb fees was $61 a night. And you have this massive yard for Laska to play in, and they've decorated it awesome with that fire pit and those chairs made out of tires. You have that grilling area out there and the incredible views. Sure, you're not in Huasca de Ocampo, but you're not too far away from town either. It's about a 10-minute drive into town, so I think it's pretty nice. What do you think, Mai? Would you stay here again?
I think it should be the official Airbnb here at Laska because I really love it. I mean, it has everything. It feels totally comfortable. It was clean. The owner was so gentle and he helped us during the whole process. He was flexible enough to allow Laska to stay in, so for us that's so important. And yeah, basically the price is amazing. And when we were looking for those Airbnbs, this is the only one with 5 stars at Airbnb here at Laska, and for us it's so important. So definitely we don't have to keep looking for any other options.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, this is going to be, I think, the official Tangerine Travels Airbnb for Huasca de Ocampo.
I love it. So we are going to have pastas for dinner today, but I wanted to add something special about the history of pastas. So as Stuart told you some hours ago, pastas basically were brought here by people from England. So as you might know, the original recipe was like a meat and potatoes pie. So in this case, it was hard for the miners or people who were working at the mine place, like to take the whole pie and eat them because they were working, and of course they didn't have water or anything to wash their hands. So basically they decided to fold the whole pie in like a taco or empanada or something like this and braid it. The origin is braided. So this has like a reason why. So if you can look at here, if we put two pastes like looking each other from this border, it basically with a lot of imagination, it has like a shape of the base of a helmet. So at that time, workers in the mine like could put both pastes inside of their helmets. So they put it on, they go and work, and when it was lunchtime, they basically took off their hats and started like eating their pastes. But why do they have it braid? Well, basically because when they were like working at the mines, they were producing a lot of dust, but also produce cyanide. So they basically took the braid of the pastes, and this was the part they used to eat, like with the filling on it.
Because this part was inside of their helmet.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
this outside part was outside of their helmet.
And they can like take it out they can hold it from here, so they can eat it. And when they finish eating the part, they just threw the braided like orilla, this part of paste.
Because that got cyanide on it.
Yeah, exactly, and it was poisonous. So they discovered that if they threw this part of the paste with cyanide on it, when rats that were a plague at that time in the city and inside of the mines ate it, well, they died because it's poisonous. So basically, pastes were made for two reasons. It was like the main food for miners at that time, and also it was one of the main weapons to kill rats at that time. So I love pastes because they are so flavorful. It has a lot of filling on it. You can find a lot of different flavors, but also history is so interesting. So this is why we are enjoying this today.
All right, should I eat it like a miner would?
No, I totally forgot.
And then give the crust to Laska? Oh, but I'm not trying to kill you, Laska. Don't worry.
It doesn't have cyanide on it. How it's like?
So I got one with green mole, and that's the first one I picked up. And it's so flavorful. You have to try this.
We went to a place here at Huasca, which is called Pastes El Sol, and we look at Google and it said that they are the best pastes in Huasca. So pastes originally were like brought to Real del Monte and Pachuca, but you can find it all around Hidalgo. So we went to the best place here in town, and apparently they are. So
but even though it's all around Hidalgo, you cannot find them all around Mexico.
Oh,
it's so good, isn't it?
I love this. Oh my god.
Here, I'll give you half of it.
It's like a combination between salsa verde, like the one you can like find in enchiladas, and mole verde. And it makes it so special because I love mole verde, but I also like salsa verde. And these two things combined taste like heaven.
Oh, it's so good.
So I chose this one with a cheese and sausage. Even though it doesn't have any sauce or chili or anything, I find it so flavorful. I like it.
Yeah, so the outside, it's a little bit flaky, but the inside of the dough is still on the softer side, so it's very easy to eat.
I love
this
one.
So good. Today for breakfast we're in Huasca de Ocampo at this place called Casa Colibri, and here they're pretty reasonable prices and huge portions too.
Today I ordered a French toast as I usually do, and I can notice some differences between the original one that I already tried in Querétaro. For example, pan francés is usually made in a brioche, so this one it's some kind of bolillo, the one we use to make tortas in Mexico. It has a little bit of white cream and bananas and cajeta and some berries, but actually I thought it was going to be super sweet, but it's not. It's like in a scale from 1 to 10, it might be like 2.
So is it not good then?
I love it. Yeah,
oh, okay.
It's so good. But it's so different from the original, like a French toast.
And I'll have to try my pasta. It came with goat cheese, sun-dried tomatoes, and spinach, but they specialize in cochinita pibil here, so I asked them to put some cochinita on the side as well. Yeah, it's very flavorful.
Pero ya no quieres o. A ver.
What'd you get?
An apple. Apple ice cream inside.
I've never seen these before. So it's a fruit, in this case an apple, with ice cream on the inside.
Yeah, basically the fruit is like the container, and it has the ice cream from the same flavor you are choosing, like fruit. For example, if you pick an orange, the ice cream is like orange flavor. In this case, this is an apple with apple flavored ice cream.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I haven't seen them in a while, so that's why when I saw the name of it, I just immediately get in.
It's helados Chalco. And how much was this?
55 pesos.
55 pesos. Oh no.
Charita. Let me go for another one.
Okay.
I like this one. I've tried the other flavors before, but this one is like having like an apple milkshake or something.
May I try it?
Yes, so good. It's weird, because I've never had apple in ice cream. It's not so sweet. I'm loving it.
I really like that. That's super good.
Yeah, it's not so sweet. It's sweet but not so sweet, and you can perfectly feel the cream flavor and also apple flavor, so for me it's just perfect.
We didn't get to spend a lot of time in the town of Huasca de Ocampo while we were here, but I really like it. I think it's really pretty. It's a cute town. There's murals all over the place, so I think that's cool. And after traveling to many places around Mexico, I start to see the same artesanias everywhere, and they're the same crap that's imported from China, but some places you come and there's actually unique stuff, and this is one of those. So shopping around here and looking at all the different artesanias, there's so many things that I've only seen here in Huasca de Ocampo.
And so cheap.
Yeah, that's true too. This place is pretty affordable. Like, for example, we made the 3.5-hour drive here from Querétaro, and we didn't know what the parking situation was going to be like, but you can park your car in a secure parking lot and leave it there all day for somewhere between 20 and 40 pesos, depending on what parking lot you choose. So compared to other cities, that's so much cheaper. Like, I remember going to Sayulita 4 years ago, and 4 years ago they wanted 200 pesos to park there. If you park in Querétaro, you might be paying 10 or 15 pesos per hour, so that really adds up. I want more of that ice cream. That apple ice cream is so good.
Yes, unfortunately we cannot find it anywhere but here. I mean, they used to.
It's okay, no te preocupes. Something I love about this little town is that all the street dogs are friendly, so I don't feel like I have to worry at all about Laska getting attacked or something like that. But you can't find that ice cream anywhere but here, you were saying?
Yes, I used to find that in Querétaro, but not anymore. Last time I saw them in Querétaro was like 10 or 15 years ago.
Really?
I remember that it were like about double the price. You can find it here, so that's why I ran.
I'm gonna have to look that up on like Google Maps or something to see where else they might have it.
I don't know if there's some restaurants in Querétaro still sell them, but honestly, I always take a look at the desserts menu and I've never found them. So
I love these donkeys here. They're so cool, especially this one standing up here. Look at this little guy. The initial purpose of this trip to Hidalgo was to get escamoles, so we spent our whole time there. We never got escamoles.
yeah, so we were a little bit disappointed because we were already on our way back to Querétaro. But actually, I don't know how, because he was driving, but he noticed a huge like letter that says like, it's not like announcement, that where it says like escamoles. So he just stopped in the middle of the road, and finally we have our escamoles.
By the way, if you didn't see the San Miguel de Allende video where we had escamoles, They're ant larvae, but they're so good. They're like a delicacy known as Mexican caviar. But we got a liter of them for 1,000 pesos.
Which is a good price. I mean, it's not the cheapest, but this is not the seasons of escamoles anymore. So if you are getting close to the end of the seasons of escamoles, like right now in August, September, it's going to be higher the price.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it's a fair price to get a liter of escamoles.
Yeah, we found out the escamole season started in March. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
And what did he tell you about it? Like he was telling you a bunch of stuff.
He explained me about how to cook them. I mean, we have to keep this in a very cold weather, and after that just put it in the freezer. He explained me exactly how to cook them, but if you would like to do, we record a video showing you how to cook this, well, let us know and we'll figure out how to show you how to prepare this delicious and healthy Mexican meal.
I am so excited we finally got our escamoles. And also in a San Miguel video, we were talking about red tuna and green tuna, and they're selling them here. You can get a box of them for 30 pesos. That's crazy. Mai had the idea to try something new and do a little trip recap after each trip we take to give you some more information that didn't make it into the video, our feelings about the trip, and other things like that.
So for me it was a very special trip because it was not only my first road trip with him, but my first road trip with anybody else that it was not my family. I had spent a lot of time in my life just studying and doing my best, working a lot. I hadn't given myself the chance to experience that. So at the very beginning I was a little bit scared because I was totally going out of my comfort zone. But in the end I felt so proud of myself and also more connected with him because he all the time made me feel so secure and safe and supported, and I really loved that.
I really loved our first road trip together, and I thought it was cool to bring Laska as well, and a bunch of your family members joined us for part of the trip, so that was pretty cool to have several generations of your family on the trip. Speaking a little bit more like informational, the drive was pretty easy to get there. It was about 3.5 hours from Querétaro, but the highways were pretty nice. A few potholes in some parts, but overall very nice highways going there. Tolls each way were somewhere about 300 pesos. I didn't keep track exactly, but about $15 give or take.
Another thing that we really enjoyed is the fact that that road is pretty safe. So you don't have to worry much if you are going through that road and it's getting late or it's getting dark. So that's something that right now it's sometimes our concern if we should travel to somewhere or not, but in this case we will feel totally comfortable with the road and its safety as well.
And I loved Hidalgo. Hidalgo has so much cool stuff, like the nature there is really diverse. You can go visit Grutas de Tolantongo and be in natural hot springs, blue ass rivers, hot springs on the side of a cliff, or you can go to where we went and you're up in the forest. It's totally surrounded by nature. There's lakes and lots of history, and then there's also some other energy stuff that you kind of enjoy.
Yeah, actually for the first time we thought that we didn't have enough time staying there. We are considering seriously to go back soon because we didn't even go to half of the places I wanted him to visit. So it's one of the places that you will never get tired of going to.
Yeah, and we went to Pueblo Mágico, Huasca de Ocampo, but there's also a couple of other nearby Pueblo Mágicos. Real del Monte or Mineral del Monte, there's two names for the same place, and then also Mineral del Chico is close as well. And all of those places have a lot of neat spots to visit.
Yeah, some of the main recommendations we should give to you is that if you're going, especially on weekends, we had a trouble at Real del Monte because we didn't knew that sometimes they close the streets that are surrounding Centro, so it could be walkable for everybody. So this time we had to like be driving all around the town to be able to find a parking place. We didn't felt like safe enough to leave it in the street because it was crowded, and
driving there was a nightmare. Oh my gosh. Like, it would have been nice for that particular place in Real del Monte to have a very small car, because the streets are just so skinny in some parts.
so if you're having a huge car, we recommend you to look for a parking place like that. It's not close to Centro. I mean, you can walk to Centro, like it's like 10 minutes walking or something like that. And of course, what we had mentioned at the San Miguel video, if you hadn't watched it, take a look. Like, we really recommend you to go with comfortable shoes because the same as San Miguel, their street has like so ups and downs, and it could be like so hard to walk.
Something I really loved being there was how affordable everything was. From our amazing Airbnb we had that was like $61 a night after all Airbnb fees, to all the really cheap food like sit-down meals or street food. And even the artesanías. On our last day, right before we were leaving, we got 3 different things: a little squirrel, a little rabbit, and a duende riding a turtle. And all 3 of those was like 580 pesos total, if I remember the number right. It was under 600 pesos. So like, even the artesanías were very affordable. And also there were lots of unique artesanías there, so I like that as well.
So Hidalgo, like for real, it covered all our perspectives and our goals. We wanted to like go there and enjoy. I think it has something very specific for everyone. You can find whatever you would like to. If you just want to go and try different food, you can find it there. If you want to go and look for nice artesanías, you can find it as well. If you would like to go and do something extreme, like some road trips and cuatrimotos or something like so crazy, you can find it there. So there's an option for everybody.
We are in Jalpan, Querétaro, and we are staying in the most interesting place I've stayed in my life. This place is so unique. It's a tiny home shaped like a teapot. It's round and it's made of straw and mud. This place is crazy. But to get to Jalpan, it was about a 3.5-hour drive. First, we had to go up the mountains through this windy road with all these switchbacks. It was kind of a deserty landscape. And then as we got higher in elevation, it turned into a very foresty landscape, but again with a bunch of switchbacks through the mountain roads. And then when we got to the area of Pinal de Amoles, it was so pretty. Pinal de Amoles is another pueblo mágico, a magic town that I've been wanting to visit for quite a while, and I can't wait to go there because like that drive was amazing. And then you were almost driving through the clouds. There was lots of fog around. It was just such a relaxing drive, even though it should have been kind of terrifying because there's a lot of cliffs that you're going by. Thankfully, they had put up some retaining walls next to those cliffs because Mai said the last time she made that drive, it was a lot scarier because they hadn't made those improvements to the road. And then after we got to Pinal de Amoles, you come down the mountain a little bit and arrive in Jalpan, and this Airbnb is just a little bit outside of Jalpan. Hello from the beautiful Jalpan de Serra. This is really pretty here. I like it a lot. So we are in the state of Querétaro, and this part of the state is often referred to as the Sierra Gorda, or the Sierra for short.
Yeah, the La Sierra Gorda basically because it's like a group of mountains that are surrounding us.
And
so
they're fat.
So in a way to arrive here, you have to go all over the mountains.
It's beautiful here. Like, the weather is perfect. It's probably like 70 degrees, just a little bit of breeze. Maybe it gets a little bit cold at night, but it's nice.
Most of the year is super hot here.
Which is surprising to me. So we made the short drive into town to come to La Casita de Alex for breakfast today, and it says we're here, but there's nothing here. It looks like you walk down this path to somewhere. We'll find out what it is. This is seriously so much food. My God, the chilaquiles mixtos, so you get both red chilaquiles and green chilaquiles, and then it also came with cecina, and all of this food that she got was 120 pesos. This is such a big plate of food. And then I got one of the most expensive things on the menu, which was the desayuno norteño, and it comes with a T-bone steak, enchiladas, an egg, and this was 130 pesos. Like, it's so much food.
And this is so cool because most of the time it's hard for me to choose if I want red sauce or green sauce, but in this case I could have both.
Ooh. My enchiladas came with the salsa del dia, the sauce of the day, and I didn't know what that was, and I didn't ask, but I should have because it's spicy. I also ordered this orange juice. A fresh squeezed orange juice was only 25 pesos, and then we also got the fruit plate for 30 pesos. But I think the best of all is this amazing view of the whole town of Jalpan out here. It is gorgeous. Last time I was in Las Vegas, I paid $10 for a fresh squeezed orange juice, and it wasn't even squeezed in front of me. This is 25 pesos, and it's so good. He came over and he was like, "Would you guys like a dessert?" And he's like, "We bake a fresh cheesecake here in the house."
And we
right
can't
here.
say no to cheesecake.
Yeah, so I guess we're having dessert for breakfast. Well, after breakfast. So Mexico has this program where they designate certain towns as pueblos magicos, or magic towns. And every one of these pueblos magicos has something unique about it. Normally it's several unique things that, whether it's culture or history or a food scene or something like that generally. So I've been to quite a few of these around Mexico, and I have a goal to visit every single one of them, but there's a lot of them. There's something like 130. But anyway, we're at another one here today, Jalpan de Serra. I can't say the word. Apparently I put the accent on the wrong syllable, and I can't say it correctly. I'm just gonna have to practice and practice and practice.
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Jalpan.
Jalpan.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Okay. Jalpan?
No.
Jalpan.
Sí. Every one of these letters represent the main elements that you can find at Jalpan and the surrounding area. For example, we have the huapango with the J and the N. And also we have the artesanías that are made here because they especially work a lot with barro. I don't know how to say
the
that.
mud.
Like the mud.
Or
they
clay,
painted
clay, really.
and they made the pieces like the plates and the muds and everything. They also make like a huge festival for Dia de Muertos and all the surrounding area. It's like we can find a lot of water bodies like cascades and lakes and rivers, and you can make a lot of activities. Like if you want something more interesting and exciting, well, you can go hiking and bike and everything you want here. So it's full of a lot of stuff.
There's supposed to be a Casa de Artesanías around here, a handicrafts house. So we're trying to find that, but I think we stumbled into some museum. A museum that was closed from the other side of the road. No sé. Oh, Casa de Artesanías.
Sí, pero estás cerrado.
No!
This doesn't make sense.
All right, so we found the Casa de Artesanías, and it was supposed to be open for another 20 minutes today, but está cerrada, unfortunately. But we are not going to let that stop us. Casa de Artesanías might have been closed, but we found another one that says Artesanías de la Región, handicrafts of the region, so we're going to go check it out. We don't have anything like this for tequila.
No.
I like the pretty little bird on here. This is so pretty. I love this. This is 460 pesos. It's for salsa, and you get a spoon in here as well. It's all hand painted. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. We're gonna get some of this stuff here because we're missing some of these things for the house, and I can't think of a better option.
So we basically went out of the store, and I still is shocked because we bought a lot of things, and I thought it was going to be like 3,000 pesos because these kind of like ornaments artesanías are super expensive most of the time, but actually it was 1,300 pesos for everything we bought, and I was like, oh, I'm so shocked. It was actually very cheap.
I loved all that stuff, and I asked him if he knows where it's from, and he said Puerta Progreso in Ezequiel Montes, and Ezequiel Montes is actually only like an hour away from where we live in Querétaro.
Maybe we should go.
Yeah, seriously.
Someday.
I love those things though because they're like artesanias, but at the same time they're functional, like you can actually use them.
Yeah.
So I really love that, and we're gonna have some new things in the house. I thought it was really funny, when we were in that store, I picked up one of the big spoons, like the giant spoons, and I pretended like I was going to spank Mai, and I was like, for when you've been bad. And the proprietor, the owner of the store, comes over, he's like, no, you need this one, and then he picks the biggest one.
And I said, yeah, it's perfect.
For me.
For you.
Mai. For when you've been bad.
Para ti, ¿eh?
So the restaurant we were coming to for dinner, Sierra Bonita, is closed. It seems like a lot of the stuff we want to go to today is closed. Believe it or not, this panaderia has been here for 54 years. 54 years. It must be good. Mi amor, I've never been in such a small, crowded panaderia. There's so many people in here and it's so small.
Like 20 people.
I thought it was busy when we arrived, and then it got even busier. You could hardly move in there. It was crazy.
And everybody was taking a lot of pan de dulce, like
yeah, like an entire tray full.
15 pieces per each, and it was like, oh, I was feeling so sad with just 2.
You felt the peer pressure to buy more.
Yeah, but no.
Let's try them.
Okay. So we got 2 pieces of pan de dulce. The first one is like a concha or something
But
similar
flat?
to concha, but flatter.
Yeah.
It's weird, almost like a gordita.
And then the second one was super popular.
Yeah, I don't know what is it, but it seems that it fills with some kind of cream, but everybody was taking one of this.
And they had like 3 trayfuls of them in there, even though it was a very small store.
So fragile.
Oh no. It's still a little bit warm.
It tastes like butter.
Yeah, there's a lot of butter in there. It's very flaky, but I'm also getting a lot of like powdery stuff stuck to the top of my mouth. Mm-hmm. It's good though. I like the flavor.
It's not super sweet. I don't like super sweet things. From 1 to 10, for me, this is like a 2 or 3.
I like it.
It's not sweet at all. Let's try the flat.
It's actually my favorite pan dulce that I've had in Mexico.
It's really good.
But in fairness, I like donuts that I get in the United States, but I'm not a huge pan dulce fan. I'm sorry, I know that's going to make me unpopular, but...
This looks like a concha, but actually it's super flat. It's more like a cookie.
Yeah, so a concha would have this stuff on top here, but it would be thicker. It'd be like...
It's like a concha cookie. I was going to bite it.
I like the other one more. This one's good. I'm impressed. Compared to the other panes dulces I've had, these are my favorite.
Here we have one of the 5 missions here in Querétaro, which are basically, or were basically used in the conversion of Catholicism, Christianity to people that was living here at the time. As soon as I remember, are Landa, Tancoyol, Tilaco, Conca,
Wow,
and Jalpan.
impressive knowledge, Mai. The construction of this one started in 1751, but the indigenous people were actually inhabiting this area back as early as the 13th century. For dinner, we wanted to come to this place called Comedor Metzli, and we put in the address on Google Maps, and it was taking us on these roads that weren't roads at all. But as it turns out, you park right next to the highway here, right next to the main road, and then you walk up that hill to the restaurant. So that's how you get there. Don't follow those other, whatever those other directions are if you want to come to Comedor Metzli. This is so pretty, Mai.
I know. It's like one of the most romantic places I've ever seen.
I love it. Hola, buenas noches. At breakfast, I had fresh squeezed orange juice from here, and oranges are growing all over the place. You can buy a giant bag of them for like nothing. I think we're gonna get a giant bag before we leave. But the naranjada, it's orange juice mixed with, in this case, like carbonated mineral water, and this is so freaking good. I love this naranjada.
It's so fresh.
Yeah. A lot of times it doesn't taste like this, but it's so good here. And these oranges in this area are the sweetest things. Well, not as sweet as her, but they're really sweet.
I love it.
Our huge naranjadas were 35 pesos. I highly recommend them if you come here. But our waitress was like, would you like an orden de patitas? And I didn't know what it was, so I just said yes. But can you explain what this is, Mai?
The leg, the hand,
foot of
the
a
foot. I don't
of
know.
a pig.
Of the pig. And they cook it, and then put it with vinegar and jalapenos and some other vegetables like onions and carrots. I really like them, but it's your turn to try it.
I'm scared. I'm really scared because this looks a little too real to me, if you know what I mean. Ayúdame, what part do I eat?
Just the carnita, not the bone.
Like this little piece?
Let me help you. Yeah, let me help you.
Okay. Oh, weird. Okay. I thought it was going to taste really fatty, but it doesn't.
No, the flavor is super soft.
So my verdict on the pig paw is that, I mean, it's decent. I'm glad I tried it, but I probably wouldn't get it again.
It would be better with the chicharrones or something.
Oh yeah, I would love it with chicharron.
With chicharrones and pico de gallo is really.
Ooh. For dinner, Mai got the chicken, and then I got a milanesa de res, which is kind of like a country fried steak, but then they put a bunch of stuff on top of it, like they put bell peppers and mushrooms and cheese, and then there's this awesome salsa that goes along with it as well. It's really, really good. How's yours, Mai? Mai's singing, about to stab herself with a fork. At least it's better than the knife you would do it earlier.
Really good.
Good, yeah, mine's excellent. We are in Jalpan, Querétaro, and we are staying in the most interesting place I've stayed in my life. This place is so unique. It's a tiny home shaped like a teapot. It's round and it's made of straw and mud. This place is crazy. Believe it or not, this Airbnb is actually kind of like a tiny home village because they have various tiny homes that they've built on the property and they rent them all out. Again, they're all eco-friendly, but anyway, let's head inside. This particular home is called La Redonda, which basically translates to the round one. Coming in the front door here, if you look up to the ceiling, you can see the loft, but above the loft, there's this round metal thing, and coming out from that metal thing, there's 16 logs that create the round structure of the home. And then coming down from the loft here are these stairs, and these stairs are made of wood. They're really solid, but there's no support other than that they're like stuck into the wall, which I thought was pretty interesting. And then throughout the home you'll find a lot of glass features to let light in, so I'm pretty sure this is like just a glass jar, but it's here built into the home to bring in that extra light. And there's a lot of windows surrounding here. Here you can see what the home is made of. They have these actually shaped like leaves, which is pretty cool, but it's made of mud and straw. And then there's some rocks built in there as well. I thought this feature was really interesting over here. This is a gas burning stove, and I've never seen one of these in my life that was actually functional. So you put the wood in here, you light it on fire, and then you put your pots here, which I thought was really interesting. At first, I thought this was just for looks, but of course, nothing in a tiny home can be just for looks. It has to be functional. And then it has a ventilation system here that goes out to the outside. And then over here you have a gas grill and then cups and plates and whatnot as well. Coming in here into the bathroom, this was interesting, let's say. So we've been here for about 24 hours and we've had zero hot water. There is a water heater, but it's a solar water heater, and it's been cloudy. I took a shower, and it was not the most fun time I've ever had.
Are you sure you want to take a shower?
Yeah, just let me close the shower door here. Okay.
Which door?
The door's closed now. Put the chair here. Oh God, I'm not looking forward to this.
Is it that bad?
It's so cold. I'm just not even under the water, and it's so cold. This place is too eco-friendly for me. I really want to take care of our planet, but I like a hot shower and running water in the toilet.
Who's the princess now?
What'd you call me?
I just asked you, who's the princess now? Because yesterday you told me I was a princess.
I would like to see you in here.
No, thanks. You sacrificed for the country.
Oh, it's horrible.
You still alive?
No. I'm dead. That was awful. I hate cold showers. I hate them so much. When I first saw this, I thought they left some cleaning supplies in here because there's a bucket and then a Yoplait cup. Yoplait yogurt cup. And I was like, no, that's actually to bathe yourself. And Mai was really excited about this because the door to the shower is just a curtain that doesn't close all the way. And then there's no door here, just a doorway. But Mai really loved the toilet area because, once again, no door, just a curtain. And then also the curtain doesn't cover this hole right here. But this toilet, I've never seen anything like this before. It's what they call a dry toilet. And you just lift this up, do your business, drop your business right in there. And then when you're all done, you take this, there's no running water. You put a scoop of this in, and then you put a scoop of this in. And then you close the toilet lid, and that's all. I mean, look guys, I think it's super important that we take care of our planet. Honestly do. I love nature. I'm a huge nature fan, and we only have this one planet, so I think it's really important that we take care of it. However, I think this place is a little too eco-friendly for me. I like to have I like to have hot water, and I like to have running water in the toilet. But maybe that's just me. And then over here, we have a refrigerator that we haven't used, and then a little sink here. But anyway, let's go upstairs now. Before we go upstairs, you can see a wild animal, and then a lovely lady here. I like this design thing that they have going on here as well. Oh, and one more thing. In the floor next to Laska, you can see the mud and the straw here as well. All right, let's go upstairs. Laska does not like going up these stairs. I've had to carry her up and down. Right here you have all these windows that open and close to let the breeze come through. Apparently it can get really hot here in Jalpan, but that is not a problem the time of year. We're here in November. Upstairs I was a little bit scared because I saw this mosquito net. I was like, oh no, are they bad here? But I haven't seen a single mosquito, thank goodness. The bed was surprisingly comfortable, and then there's lots of storage area to put clothes and whatnot, so that's nice as well. Our house is shared by many, and many come to visit. They are all our friends. This house is our home, and our home is made of love. There's also some common areas on this property. Over there is a dining area. Back behind me, you might have seen a fruit tree. There's actually a lot of fruit trees here. Right now I'm going past our place, La Redonda. We come over here. carefully through all these trees. And here's what they call the baño de vapor, which would translate to bathroom steam room. But you come in here, it looks more like a sauna to me. So again, it's round, just like the home we're staying in. In the middle here are some rocks and then a bucket, which I think you would put the water in. Pretty interesting in here as well. Another common area, this says líquido dorado, which would be golden liquid. And then this says composta café, which would be like coffee compost. But then I was like, oh wait, café also means brown here. So brown compost and golden liquid, if you can guess what that is. It took me longer than it should have to figure that one out. And then there's lots of green areas, lots of ducking to do as I'm walking around here. But I thought all the fruit trees were pretty cool. I don't know what a lot of them are. Like here's this fruit. Kind of like a lime, but maybe it's going to grow bigger into an orange. There's some oranges that have fallen on the ground here from one of these trees around. Up here, what is this? Maybe an avocado? It's really light. It has almost no weight to it. So here's the signs for the fogata and game area. So the fogata is going to be like the fire pit area. And we walk through here, careful not to hit our head, which I did earlier. Oh, there's some chickens. It must be feeding time because they're all walking towards me now. And before, they weren't walking towards me. And then over here is like the game area. You climb up these stairs here, and then you can either slide down the pole or slide down this very steep slide. There's a hammock. I think there's one other hammock over here as well. If you want to have a fire at night, or any time of the day for that matter, you can do so here. And then over there is a trampoline. And that, my friends, is more or less our tiny home. We booked this on Airbnb. Maya actually found it on Instagram, of all places. The way she finds stuff on Instagram, I have no idea how you do it, Maya. You shop on Instagram, you find hotels on Instagram. All I find on Instagram are like pictures and videos of my friends. But
yeah, actually Instagram is so useful when you start like figuring out how it works, and yeah, you can find very interesting things like restaurants and Airbnbs and places to visit, etc.
Yeah, clearly I don't know how Instagram works. I've only been doing social media professionally for 5 years. What do I know? But before Airbnb fees, this place was about $50 a night. After Airbnb fees, though, it was $69 a night. Honestly, I had some Airbnb credit that was going to expire that I needed to use. But if I paid $69 a night for this, although it's super cool and super unique, I'd feel like I overpaid. Because, well, the dry toilet, no hot water. Oh, and I didn't even mention that the Wi-Fi is basically non-existent and there's no cell service here. For example, I was trying to book another trip and I was trying to load Hilton.com. And I went to there, it took about 10 minutes to load on my computer, and then I tried doing a search, and then the search never worked. So when I say basically non-existent, that's what I mean. But yeah, this is definitely unique, and it has been an experience.
Yeah, definitely if you want like to rest from the civilization and the chaotic that a city might be, I think this is a good place. But actually, something that I think what's missing is that we never actually imagined that we will have to face all these things, and actually we weren't prepared at all. It was our first time facing a dry bathroom. Neither of us had done that before, and I was kind of stressed because for me it's so important my privacy. As he said, of course I think the dry bathrooms had a lot of benefits for nature and taking care of water, but anyway, it's like I honestly it's hard for me to face the idea that, okay, if this was my home and I had to like carry all that out, and maybe I know what's the use for it, for me it will be easier to understand it. But right now for me it's super hard. I cannot stop thinking about that might be someone that has to do the dirty job, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's like I literally cannot imagine someone else, which is not me, and like carrying my stuff out of the house, and I don't know where it ends.
In our most recent video, we went to Jalpan and Amealco, and I was talking about building like a sustainable, eco-friendly home. But after staying here, I think I know my limits of what I want in my eco-friendly home.
And this is too much.
This is too eco-friendly. Today for breakfast we were trying to find a place that was pet friendly, but I couldn't find one on Google. So we came to this place that was pretty close to our Airbnb called Antojitos Gusgus. It's a nice place. It's gotten very busy in here, so it's obviously very popular, but I came inside and I was like, hey, we would like to eat breakfast here, but we have our dog with us. And they're like, oh, no problem, come on in. So here we are. And I'm excited for this. Once again, we got another orange juice. This was 20 pesos for a fresh squeezed orange juice. That's starting to be one of my favorite things about coming here. And before we leave town, I think we're going to get one of those big bags of oranges, if we can fit it in the car. For breakfast, I got the entomatadas con cecina, and cecina is very popular in this region. It's a cut of beef that's cut like very thin and cooked. And then entomatadas are like enchiladas, but with a tomato sauce instead of the enchilada sauce. And this was 95 pesos. And then my God, huevos al gusto for 55 pesos. And specifically, you can choose the eggs the way you want them. So she got huevos a la mexicana, which has like green peppers and onions and eggs and tomatoes and all scrambled together.
I just want to make clear that they're called huevos a la mexicana because it has the Mexican flag 3 colors, because it includes the red with tomatoes, white with onion, and green with serrano peppers. I love them.
I can't believe that I've been living in Mexico for almost 5 years and I never realized that's why it's called a la mexicana. I feel so dumb now. That was really good, and my breakfast was amazing. That cecina, whew, highly recommended. Guess what we found? A bushel of oranges. We're gonna find out how much they are and maybe take one with us. Okay, so it's 170 pesos for an entire bushel. Okay, let's go. You take the camera, please. It's heavy. I need 2 hands. Okay. On our way back from the mountains, we decided to spend a night in Bernal, which is another pueblo mágico that's closer to Querétaro, about an hour away from where we live. But we came to this place tonight for, actually no, not tonight, for lunch. I'm always thinking it's later than it is. But yeah, we came to this place for lunch. It's this Italian place called Folk, and we got this pizza gourmet. Bernal is definitely more expensive than La Sierra. So this pizza was 230 pesos, but at least it's very tasty. Ever since going to the state of Yucatan, I fell in love with marquesitas, and I just spotted some. Una con queso de bola, Nutella y plátano, por favor. If you've never had a marquesita, it's like a waffle cone rolled up, and I got it with cheese, the queso de bola specifically, which is the best. I highly recommend the queso de bola, and then Nutella and banana. It's awesome. I love it. Oh, and this was 55 pesos. What are you getting?
A gordita de nata rellena de Nutella.
Vamos. These things are enormous. Look at this croissant. This is crazy. So we went to lunch, then I immediately got a snack, and now we're eating again immediately after. Which one do you want? I've been to Bernal before, and I've had a gordita here, but it wasn't a sweet gordita like this. It was totally different. It was like filled with meat and stuff. But did you just put Nutella on your nose?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Nutella and cream cheese.
And this gordita is different. Like the outside of it looks different than the ones I've had here. May I try it? Mmm, really good. But we turn around and look at the beautiful view. La Peña de Bernal, right behind us here. So my gordita was 30 pesos, 30 pesos. And it looks like a way better deal than my marquesita, to be honest.
Yeah, and this is my favorite thing about Bernal, and yeah, definitely it's way better than your marquesita.
She didn't really know how to make a good marquesita. Gracias. I've never been to a place that sold esquites where you could actually try them before buying it, and they have all these different flavors. So far I've tried guava, which is a type of esquite I've never seen before. It tasted a little bit like ponche, like the punch you would get around Christmas time here. And this is mole verde, green mole. Mole verde, Mai? I like it. Vaso chico de tuétano, por favor, con todo chileno. Since it's so close to Querétaro, Bernal is a very, very popular weekend destination for those living in Querétaro. This esquites place was really cool. Thanks for taking me here.
I told you.
But yeah, they had a lot of flavors that I haven't seen before. I tried the mole verde and what else? The guayaba, which were super unique. I ended up going with the bone marrow, which I've had before at another place, but I really love it. And they were 50 pesos a cup. Okay, so we ate lunch at 4 or 5 p.m. and then after that we had esquites and a gordita, and then like 30 minutes ago Maya's like, what are we having for dinner? And I said, we already had dinner. What are you talking about? And she's like, no, we
Because he
didn't.
never want to have dinner, and for me it's super important to have dinner. So
For me that was
anyway,
dinner.
I wanted dinner. So we came by some dark streets that were totally out of downtown.
Not in the tourist areas at all, but we found a
Definitely.
taqueria that's open and it's busy.
And it's a 4.6 according to Google.
So we're gonna go grab some tacos here. Vamos.
Wish us luck.
Oh, and it's raining. That's why
And
you
it's-
see this.
It's raining. A lot, actually.
When it comes to finding great tacos, there's a few things you need to look for. One, a place that has running water, because then you know their hygiene is going to be better and you're less likely to get sick. Number two, a place that's really busy. Really busy, I mean it's good. It means they're cycling through the meats quickly so they're not sitting out forever. Again, less likely to get sick, and also that it tastes good. And a third, ask the locals. Ask the locals where the best tacos are, where the best taquitos are. And then also we use Google Maps as well in the Google reviews. So with those 4 tips, I think you'll be able to find a great taco joint like this one. Okay, while we wait for our tacos, Mai has a couple more tips for you. These are important, so listen up.
Yeah, so if you're looking some kind of like meat tacos, like tacos de pastor, tacos de bistec, etc., my advice is that if the price of the tacos is lower than 10 pesos, don't do it.
Because there's a good chance that it's not the kind of meat they say, and that it might be like street dog or something instead.
Yeah, something really, really bad.
In
So-
fact, someone else, another one of your friends, said that she will not eat tacos that are less than 15 pesos each.
Yeah, so the price of tacos around might be like 10 to 20 pesos, but if you find some meat tacos that are under that price, you better keep looking.
Yeah, what else?
And don't be afraid to go out of the downtown and the tourist area, because sometimes if you Google it and you find a good place, like, take the risk. Especially if it's crowded. If it's not, well, run.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Again, go with the crowded tip.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some tacos and quesadillas to go, and we're bringing them back to the Airbnb. For breakfast today, we came to Mercado de Gastronomía, and the first thing I got is a gordita with tinga de pollo, which is like chicken and onions put inside of a blue corn dough. It's really flavorful. Extremely messy, but super flavorful. What'd you get, Mai?
just got a quesadilla with nopales.
How is it?
It's really good.
And what's it called?
Because they are cooked at the inside of the leaf of maguey. And they're called nopales en penca.
In penca. Okay. But yeah, these were 20 pesos each, so a very affordable breakfast here this morning. Even though Bernal can be pretty expensive, you can still find cheap food here. And next I got a quesadilla de barbacoa, and barbacoa, if you aren't familiar with it, it's made from sheep. I'll give this a try here. I added a little bit of the house-made salsa to it, and it has a lot of flavor. It's not good as the tinga de pollo. I wish I got 2 of those because that was amazing. But this is pretty good as well. And again, 20 pesos.
We're basically going out of Bernal on our way back home, and I remember that Ezequiel Montes, which is the place where it might be the ceramic store where they made all the artesanias that we found in Jalpan, is located at. So we decided to take a look on Google to check how far it was, and actually it's 28 minutes far from Bernal, so we're going on our way trying to find that store. And well, if we do, we're gonna let you know how it was. You wanna go to Ezequiel Montes? Yeah? Are you excited? Yeah, I'm excited too.
Okay, so we just went through Ezequiel Montes, and it was kind of a clusterfuck. I mean, I can't say that. It was kind of a mess because there was some parade going on and the main street through town was closed. But that's actually not where the store is. As it turns out, the store that we are trying to find is in a place called Villa Progreso, which is near Ezequiel Montes, but not in it. I was not expecting to find a Tecate castle in Villa Progreso. We were driving into the middle of nowhere. I thought for sure the map was taking us somewhere to like just someone's house or something. But we arrived and they're actually open on a Sunday, so I'm really excited to see what they have here.
Me too, and I'm cold.
And I'm cold. I love this stuff so much. It's all hand painted down to the tiniest of details. It's so pretty. These are tortilleros, tortilla holders, and they're so pretty. This thing is really interesting too. It's a Dia de Muertos Catrina, and then you lift that up and you would probably put like candies or something in there.
For your guests.
This might be my favorite thing in here. Can we get it?
Yeah.
It's gonna be super fragile though. We can never bump it or anything. I'd be so sad if this broke. ¿Sabe qué precio tiene este?
El precio es de 1,000 pesos.
1,000 pesos. The detail on this is incredible. Wow. Or you can get a mug with less details and smaller for 205 pesos. These flower pots are amazing as well. They even have piggy banks here. I love it. And turtle piggy banks. I'm so happy
Me
you
too.
encouraged me to come here because I love this store. It made me so happy being in there, and there's so much super cool stuff, and
I would definitely come back
For
just
sure.
to see what's new.
And by the way, if you want to come here, we'll put the screenshot of Google Maps of what you can search for if you want to come here as well. It's going to be something like an hour away from Querétaro. But yeah, I definitely think it's worth coming if you're interested in any of this stuff for your home. So we're driving back to Querétaro right now, and I see that on our right-hand side is Arkansas State University, Querétaro. I'm super curious as to why Arkansas State University has a campus here in Querétaro. If anyone can enlighten me in the comments section, I would really appreciate it because this is a total mystery to me. So between Jalpan and visiting the store of the pottery itself, this is everything that we got. I think my favorite of everything though is this Catrina. I love this thing. But I mean, this thing is also amazing as well. The Catrina and this are my two favorites. It's also beautiful. Wow, I love it. We are in Mexico's real life version of Whoville, so I better put on something more appropriate. Much better. Welcome to Tlalpujahua, Michoacan. This is the Mexican town where it's Christmas all year long. Literally 70% of this town's industry is making Christmas ornaments, and half of the stores in the town are Christmas stores that are open year-round. To get to Tlalpujahua from Querétaro, it was a very easy drive, a little over 2 hours, but it was on really nice roads the whole way, very few tolls, only like 50 or 60 pesos worth of tolls. Right now we are in La Villa de Santa, and although it's totally decked out for Christmas time, it's actually like this the whole year. It's open year-round and you can come here at any time because this is what this town is. This town is all about Christmas. Within La Villa de Santa, they have a bunch of stores where you can buy various Christmas ornaments, Christmas decorations, and all sorts of stuff. At night, they have a light show where they play Christmas music and the lights move to the music. And then over here, you can grab some popcorn or something to drink or some other snacks as well. I'll give you guys a quick tour of our Airbnb. It's very short walking distance to the main square in town. You just go up that hill a little ways and you're right there. And then out front they have the white wall painted with flowers and then these gorgeous wooden blue doors. But let's go inside. I love this place, it's so cute. So coming in the front door to your left here you have the living room, and comes with a beautiful woman. I'm really happy about that. Over there, sitting on top of an old sewing machine, is your microwave. And then here's the stairs going up to the loft, and right under the stairs is a mini fridge. So I love that we have a microwave, a mini fridge, and a coffee maker. They also included a couple of bottles of water, which is a really nice touch because after driving, you arrive to your Airbnb, you're always thirsty, and just having a couple bottles of water is really nice. And then we go down a couple of stairs, and here you have a twin bed. How is the bed? It feels pretty comfortable. I love how it's decorated though with these pillows. They have these flowery pillows all over the walls. And then over here is the sink area next to the bathroom. I love the butterfly tiles, this colorful sink. And then they also left us some towels tied up in a little bow, as well as bath towels with the same. I love those little touches. And then we actually got some quality products here. So that's a really nice touch. That you don't find that in very many Airbnbs. We open up these colorful doors, and here is the bathroom and shower. And she said we're going to have plenty of hot water, so I'm really happy about that. If you saw our last video, you know I don't like cold showers. Here you can see the beautiful rock wall with these flowers and leaves painted up there. I love that so much. And then right up there is a TV, so you could, I think, watch the TV from the downstairs bed, but it's actually perfect for the upstairs bed, watching it from there. But anyway, let's head upstairs and go check out the rest of the loft. So after coming up a few stairs, you can see you're at the perfect height to watch TV on that wall over here. Beneath the railing, there's a little bit of glass, but that feels like it could break at any moment, to be honest. But I love the walls up here and the decorations. Here, the pillows, this thing, whatever that's called, I forget what that's called on the bed. But a king-size bed up here, so you have a very large place to sleep. And again, it feels comfortable just like the downstairs. I love their taste and design here. So this place, before Airbnb fees and taxes, was about $100 US, but after fees and taxes, we're looking at like $135, if I remember right. So it's not a cheap place by any means, but great location here and comfortable beds and hot shower, so I think I'm going to like it here. From October to December every year, they have the Feria de Esferas, or the Ornament Fair, so we're going to go check it out right now. It's huge with tons of different vendors inside of here. Any ornament you've ever dreamed of, they have right here. I love these. They have these light up apple ornaments. These are awesome. They have all these different characters here, even a Grinch or a Katrina from Dia de Muertos. Little Grinch ornaments with a Christmas hat. I love it so much. For such a small town, this place has a massive church with all this super intricate detailing. This is Parroquia del Carmen. This was actually constructed in the first half of the 1700s. It's one of the prettier churches I've seen around Mexico. So many amazing details. In a way, this kind of reminds me of Tasco Guerrero because of the grandeur of the church, you can tell like just how much wealth the town once had. And then from up here at the parroquia, you have beautiful views of the town and the mountains all covered by pine trees. Absolutely gorgeous. When we were driving into town, we actually saw a lot of businesses where they were cutting up rocks like, into different designs. Some were animals, a lot of them were fountains. So I see in town here, they're selling some of those fountains. But yeah, as we were driving through the windy roads into town, they were literally carving up the rock on the side of the road. So aside from the Christmas stuff, it seems like the carving of rocks are one of the main artesanías or products that the town produces. One of the many Christmas stores in this town is La Casa de Santa Claus, so let's go in and check it out. I don't know if in my whole life I've been to a place that's as festive as this town is for Christmas. This is insane. Christmas everywhere, Christmas decorations, Christmas music. Here in the store you can buy polar bears, countless ornaments. There's whatever you call these, like not wreaths, but the things that wrap around the doorway. All sorts of Christmas lights. And in this town, there's like 10,000 people that are employed making Christmas ornaments and all sorts of different Christmas decorations. So I would bet that just about everything you see here, if not absolutely everything, is made here in Tlalpujahua. I love this little gopher. So cute. And then here we have softball size ornaments for 28 pesos. They have grapes here, a grape ornament. And every single one of these grapes is an ornament of its own. But this whole thing, 60 pesos. These are amazing. I love them. Also in this town, you'll find many things showcasing the monarch butterflies. And that's because just about 20 minutes away from here is where like the monarch butterfly sanctuary is. It's where the monarchs migrate to, and you can go there and see millions of the monarch butterflies. This town hasn't always been all about Christmas. It actually used to be a mining town, and there's a museum here that showcases all of its mining history, and that is Museo Hermanos Lopez Rayon. So let's go check it out. I'm going to tell you about the 460-year history of this town in 30 seconds. Editor, start the timer. Okay, so this town was founded in 1560. It was actually a very wealthy town at one point, dependent totally on the local mine, and this four-wheeler is going to ruin my 30 seconds. Okay, editor, start the timer over. This town was founded in the year 1560, almost 500 years ago. It used to be a very, very wealthy mining town, but then in about 1930, the government of Mexico nationalized the mine, and that ended up leading to the demise of the town. But in about the year 1960, they started making ornaments here, Christmas ornaments, and that turned into the industry of the whole town, and now 70% of the town's industry is based on making Christmas ornaments, and there's over 150 workshops in this town. So if you're interested in learning about the history of the mine, you can go in there and see the mine plans, a whole bunch of photos of different stuff, some of their machinery, and all sorts of things like that. There are so many people in this town today that although I have full bars of 4G on my phone, I can barely get any reception because there's just so many people trying to use the same towers. When we were looking for places to stay this weekend, literally every hotel in the entire town was sold out for Saturday night, and there were only a couple options left in the entire town for Airbnbs. So I knew Saturday was going to be busy, but Saturday here is crazy. Like driving to get into town, you literally could not even do it if you came in the afternoon because the traffic was not moving at all because there just wasn't enough space for all of the cars trying to come into town. For breakfast, we came to this really cute place called Restaurante del Carmen, and it's right next to Hotel del Carmen. I got this fruit plate for 60 pesos. I love it with the amaranth and the pumpkin seeds and a few different kinds of fruit that I like. A little bit of honey drizzled on top as well.
So today I got the Desayuno del Carmen, which is basically a pair of molletes. Here molletes, it's a bolillo or a kind of bread which is cut by its slices, and it has beans and cheese, and in this case you could choose between cheese and ham. So This is pretty good because actually I've tried molletes in some other places. I'm not a huge fan, but here at Michoacán, bolillo, it's totally different from the one that we have Querétaro. And in this case, I think they add some kind of fine herbs over it and it give it like a taste of a pizza, so I'm loving it.
And I got the chilaquiles del Carmen, which are chips in this case with their special house salsa, and then cheese and onions, and then there's also scrambled eggs on top, and then there's some cream that I can drizzle on if I want to. To drink, I got this green smoothie. It has matcha, banana, and spinach. One thing that seems to be hard to find in this town is a good restaurant, but I can highly recommend Restaurante del Carmen. So after 5 years living in Mexico, I just found out that Rudolph's name is Rodolfo. Rodolfo the red-nosed reindeer. I don't know why, but I find that funny. We found Laska! I'm so happy. 100 pesos. So after walking all around the town, we figured out that we want to buy our ornaments at the Feria de Esferas, so we're headed back to that big old building. I actually found out that at the feria they sell about 5% of their ornaments for the year. Wow. So the feria that lasts 3 months, and then like 70% of the ornaments, or like 75%, are exported to other countries, and then like the remaining 20% are sold other places in Mexico. There's seriously so many stores selling ornaments and Christmas stuff. It's like literally every direction you look, there's another place to walk into. So we could probably walk around here for a week and keep finding new places to shop. All right, it's time to go shopping for some ornaments. After shopping all around the feria, there was one vendor that really stood out for having like higher quality. When you feel them, they're heavier, they're thicker, like prettier designs. They're a little bit more expensive, but they're still honestly quite affordable. Like these, they're 130 pesos for a dozen, or about 11 pesos per ornament. So right now Maya's choosing a dozen of perhaps the fanciest ornaments here. These are really pretty, but these are 360 pesos for a dozen, or 30 pesos each. For lunch we came to Minero Grill and Beer. People say they have really great hamburgers here, so I'm excited to try that because after walking around all day, I've worked up an appetite, but I love the view out the window here. What'd you get?
Pie de queso.
Pie de queso. Oh, it's a little cheesecake.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I love them because it's like a cheesecake, like muffin cheesecake.
Yeah. I'll give you a quick tour of where we stayed our second night here. It's just a private room in a house, so let's go inside. So you walk in the front door here. To the left is your bathroom. The shower was amazing, but other than that, I didn't really like staying here. The beds weren't that comfortable. There was a lot of light coming in through those windows. There's a little bit of seating area, nowhere to put your bags or store your clothes or anything. Very basic. And this place booked on Airbnb was $68 a night after all taxes and Airbnb fees. And it's about a 20-minute walk into town, and you have to go down the highway, like walking right next to a busy road. So I don't love that walk either. So overall, I'd much rather pay more and stay at that other place we stayed at than this one. However, the city was just so busy, there were no options available. We were lucky to find this brand new listing that had no reviews. So that was a risk, but at least it gave us a place to stay for the night. So there's that. If you're thinking about coming to the magic town of Tlalpujahua, I have a couple of quick tips for you. Number one is if you're driving here from Querétaro, you're going through the states of Guanajuato and Michoacán, which are two of the more dangerous states in Mexico. So make sure you drive during the days. Although the roads are nice, these are areas that are known for more bad things to happen, like carjackings and things like that. And number two is try to avoid coming on a Saturday around Christmas time. Friday was way more chill than Saturday was. Saturday was insane with the number of people and how hard it was to find a hotel or Airbnb. So those two tips will go a long way for you on your trip. And also, there's this awesome little town nearby called El Oro de Hidalgo, and we're headed there now. It's another magic town, and this is in the state of Mexico. It's only like a 15 or 20 minute drive from Tlalpujahua, so it's super easy to get to, and it looks really cool, so we're gonna go there and show you it right now. We decided to come to El Oro de Hidalgo for breakfast, which is only like 15 minutes away from Tlalpujahua. It's a very short drive to get here, but this is actually another pueblo mágico, but it's not in the state of Hidalgo. Don't let the name confuse you. It's actually in the state of Mexico. For breakfast, we came to Bistro Norte, and we were driving all through the town trying to find a place to park, which was a little bit difficult. Have you been here before?
No, actually not.
Really?
Yeah, no. I just saw that it was so close to Tlalpujahua and it immediately kept my attention because
Yeah.
it looks really pretty.
And it's so close to Querétaro, so
Yeah,
I'm a little
actually, like
surprised you haven't been here.
2 hours and a half or something
Yeah.
like that.
Our table on the patio of this restaurant is actually right next to like one of the main landmarks of El Oro de Hidalgo. Like Tlalpujahua, this is a former mining town, and next to this restaurant is this big red thing, which I believe, based on my knowledge of mining, is a mine shaft. So if like the ore body is way underground, they'll build a mine shaft that allows them to access that ore way underground and then hoist it up. So we were going to go explore the town after breakfast, but it took forever and we don't want to get back too late. But we decided we'll come back here another time and spend a weekend here or something, staying in this town because it looks really nice and I really want to check it out. So we got our ornaments home and got the tree set up. I think it looks amazing. I have a couple more tips for you about your next trip to Tlalpujahua. Number one is that if you're planning on buying any ornaments, be sure to bring your own packing materials because what they give you, what the vendors give you when you buy them are wholly inadequate for making sure you get them home safely. And number two, it turns out Sunday was just as crazy as Saturday was. So if you're coming around Christmas time, try to go from Monday through Friday. I have this crazy idea that I want to buy a piece of land somewhere in the state of Querétaro and build some kind of self-sufficient home on that. I'm not sure if it's going to be off the grid or a tiny home or what, but I want to do something like that. So today we're going to check out a couple nearby towns, Huimilpan and Amealco. First, we're going to Huimilpan, and that's about a 30-minute drive from the south end of the city. After an easy 30-minute drive, we arrived in Huimilpan Centro here, and it is noticeably cooler here. So where we're living in Querétaro, it's about 1,800 meters above sea level, and here it's about 2,300 meters. So we gained another 500 meters in elevation. It's a cute little town in the centro here, but
Yeah.
what do you think of this place?
I like it. I can't stop looking at that elote there,
Oh.
so I'm sorry if I'm distracted. It smells super good, actually.
They have elotes asados, grilled corn right over here. We might have to go find some of that. We found a mercado. Let's go in. I love these little birdhouses. These are pretty cool. Made out of wood. How much are they? Well, this bicycle with the flower pot is 250 pesos. This would be perfect for our orchids. So you can attach an orchid to a piece of wood with just like a little string, and then it will wrap itself around it. So you would have like the orchids growing up the side of it.
I'm not sure about that. Your idea doesn't convince me much.
Maya was saying that she used to get these all the time when she was like 4 years old. What are they? Chipileta.
Would you like to try something?
Yeah, I would try this. This looks interesting.
What else?
You choose.
Give you to try many of these candies.
No, I
Yes.
can't. I can't have that much sugar. Just like a couple.
You don't have to finish it.
Question for you: is this a mango seed with ate?
No sé. Eso sí, no sé. I haven't seen those before.
Mai, do you want it to mom?
No. This is tamarindo.
In the candy store, Mai was brought back to her childhood, and she decided to make me get diabetes. She's like, you're gonna try all of these.
start with this one.
Okay.
So you just took it out in like it's like a roll of tamarindo. I like it because it's not so sweet, at
Okay.
least not for me.
It's rolled
But
up
in
like a
this time
snake.
I'm not gonna take it with my hands because they're dirty, so just buy it.
Okay. I'm surprised at how not sweet it is.
It's not.
it's a
That's
little
why I
bit
love
sweet.
it. It's just a little bit.
And you don't like super sweet stuff.
1 minute of silence for the candy that's now on the floor.
No, it's on my jeans. You can eat it off of me.
No? Have you tried this before?
I don't think so. Cajeta and obleas. What are obleas? Are these
Yes.
things obleas? That was way harder to bite than I thought. I don't like it.
It's good.
Me, hard to bite, hard to chew, not much flavor. Okay, now I'm trying something called an hormiga, which would be translated to an ant.
Why you bite it? You should.
You didn't tell me how to
enjoy
eat it. How am I supposed to know I'm not supposed to bite it?
So, what do you think?
Pretty sour.
That's why I love it.
I wasn't expecting all that crunch. But I suppose if you're biting into an ant. Okay, so Mai got an elote, which is just corn on the cob with some stuff on it like mayonnaise and cheese and a little chili powder. And I got basically the same thing, but in a cup, and I got lime as well. And for the two of them, it was 50 pesos. Give it a try.
Okay. It's really sweet, actually.
Sweet? Why is
The
it sweet?
The taste of it is really different.
My esquites were also grilled, so I'll try with the esquites first. Okay, I'll give this a try. I love esquites. They're always so good. But you know, being in front of that place, I felt like I was sitting in front of a campfire with all the smoke blowing right in my face. I had to keep turning around and closing my eyes because I was getting like my eyes burnt from all the smoke. But it smelled really good. Those esquites were so worth the 25 pesos. I love them. Except you're dying now from the spice.
But it's good. It's worth it.
Estamos listos. Conduce con cuidado. Gira a la derecha.
Shh, I'm trying to record. Quiet. Okay, so we walked around Central a little bit, got some candy, got some esquites and elotes, and then we just drove around town a little bit so I'd be able to see more of this place. And I like the town. I think it's cute. It has like a nice calm vibe here. I don't know if I could see myself buying property and building here though. I'm not sure. I would have to get to know the town a little bit more. But anyway, we're gonna head to Amealco now so we can freeze our asses off. It's already so cold here. And it's gonna be even colder there. But I'm actually really excited to go there because it's a pueblo mágico, a magic town in Mexico that I haven't been to yet and I've been wanting to visit for a while. And by the way, if you're familiar with those Lele dolls, you might have seen them if you've been to Querétaro. Well, those originated in Amealco. After leaving Huimilpan on our way to Amealco, we've only been on the road for, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. And we keep seeing these like memorials on the side of the road from people who have died driving this road, which seems crazy to me because it seems like a nice, safe road to me.
Yeah, and you can usually see those kind of things like when you're driving around Mexico. But it came to my attention that we were like in a very short distance, like a drive, and I could see like 5 or 6 of those memorials, like in less than a kilometer separated. So it was really weird to me.
Yeah, that's crazy. So if you're driving around here, be careful. It says it's 55 degrees here like it was in Huimilpan, but it feels cooler here. I think it's the breeze. I think it's windier here.
I can't speak, my brain is frozen.
They have Dia de Muertos Lele dolls here. How cool. I love it. Mai was telling me that she wanted to get one of these Dia de Muertos Leles as a gift for someone. And then she sees this one and she's like, I love it so much. And I'm like, you're keeping it, aren't you? She's like, yeah. Can you talk about how it's handmade and stuff?
Yeah, it's all handmade. So the flowers and everything, that Senora made it. So I really love it.
All the stitching and everything is done by her by hand. So this was 280 pesos, and let me tell you, there is a lot of work that goes into that.
Yes.
A lot of work and a lot of love goes into this. Here's a statue of Senora Amealco.
What?
I said, here's a statue of Senora Amealco.
It's Alfredo.
Alfredo de Bonfil. So the full name of the town is called the Amealco de Bonfil. ¿Verdad? This little store we came in just now has a bunch of small, unique snacks that you don't see everywhere. Like here they have gummies made of passion fruit, and Mai's holding one made of apple. I think we're going to get these two. Okay, we'll show you our little haul quickly from the store. Some kind of chili, chiltepin. Don't know what that is, but Mai got it as a gift.
It's a very small chili. It's like a round chili. Like it's about this size, and you can find it, I think, at the north part of Mexico, but it's one of the most spiciest ones.
Okay.
So, yeah, my father loves it, so that's why I buy it.
And then we got apple gummies and mango with some like chili on it, which I'm really excited for. And then a fruit I've never tried before, nor can I pronounce it.
Hokonosle.
Hokonosle.
It's like a tuna. Like the sister of the tuna. It's a tuna.
Okay.
But it's more
So
sour.
a fruit from a cactus?
It's more sour. No, it's not as sweet as tuna. It's sour.
Okay.
really
I want to try it. First time trying this fruit I can't pronounce. It's good. Kind of sour. Don't really know what it tastes like. Damn it, why can't I describe it better? Ayúdame.
It tastes like a combination of pineapple and apple
Okay.
and tuna. It's really good actually.
And that's tuna the fruit, not tuna the fish.
I love that. Wow.
Too sour?
I'm too sour. Oh. They're really good. Okay.
Mai wants to go back for more of the hokonotsle, is that how you say it? Mm-hmm. And I actually want to go back for more of these apple gummies. These are so good, I love them. It tastes just like apple, but with some spiciness, and I love the texture of the gummy in my mouth as well. So we had to come back to the home of the first Lele doll, and we got some more. We got a little Mariachi de los Muertos guy. That's kind of funny. He just needs a guitar. Maybe we can add a guitar to him. And then another Lele doll. So now we have one that we can give as a gift, and one that Mai can keep for herself.
I want that one. Is cute. I want that one.
I'm not going to have any money left over for land. I'm going to spend it all on Lele dolls.
Ya llevamos 70 años diciendo,
Wow.
más que no sabía no sabía toda la gente, ahora ya sabe, ahora ya le registró del gobierno, ahora ya le registró, le dice Lele, ahora ya se bautizó, ya tiene su apellido allá en la presidencia. Sí.
Pues muchas gracias.
Gracias.
Que le vaya bien.
Igualmente. By the way, if you guys didn't know, Amealco is where the Lele dolls originated. And at different times of year, you can find them in different themes. Like right now, you can find some Dia de Muertos Leles. If you come around Christmas time, you'll be able to find some like Santa Claus Leles. I love this painting with the Leles peeking up from behind the houses. It's pretty cool. Mai, you sit here, I sit here. And then I reach really far out to get them both in the shot. What do you think of Amealco so far?
I think I like Amealco more than we meet one.
I do too.
At least we've found a lot of good things like the candies and the little dolls.
It's a bigger town, so there's definitely more here. And I think it's pretty. I like it a lot. Driving here though made me really nervous seeing all those memorials or whatever you call them on the side of the road. After Mai pointed them out and we really started looking for them, it was like every 200 or 300 meters. It was crazy. It was like 5 of them every mile. On our way back, we're gonna count to see how many we can see. For lunch, we came to this restaurant called La Antigua. I really like it in here. I think it's super pretty. I thought it was going to be like an open courtyard based on the pictures, but it's actually covered above us, which is nice. I like the music. I like the looks of it in here. It's very colorful. And they have lots of very typical Mexican foods. A lot of different options in here as well. And they brought out these chips and salsa for us, complimentary. Those look really good. The salsa is unique but has so much flavor. And then the chips, you can tell they're made super fresh. Yeah, that looks really good. You have the nopal, the prickly pear cactus leaf, and then vegetables and the chicken. And then the quesadilla.
Want to try?
Yeah, hell yeah. This looks amazing. That's a big bite.
You can do it.
Okay. I think you're really gonna like the salsa.
Okay.
Oh, that was so flavorful. And the chicken's really tender.
Yes. It's a really good salsa.
Yeah, I love it. So I got the gorditas with chicken tinga de pollo. No, I'm mixing my English and Spanish. I got the gorditas with tinga de pollo. So these are going to be like a corn dough on the outside, and then they cut a slit in the middle of it in which they put chicken tinga, which has like chicken and onion. I think there's a little bit of green salsa in here, and then they put cheese, lettuce, and cream as well. I'm excited to give this a try. I thought we were going to be leaving town after eating, but Mai's over here texting with her mom, and she just found out that the cheese here is really good, like the cheese from the mercado, so we might have to go find the mercado after this and get some queso para llevar. I think I like it here. Everyone we've met here has been super nice, and like walking in and out of the restaurants, people are saying provecho, like enjoy your meal, which a lot of times in the bigger cities like in Querétaro, you don't get that all the time, but I like that. So we just got home, and on the drive home from Amealco to Jalpan, we were counting how many memorials and crosses were on the side of the road, and on that drive, 30 minutes on the road, we counted 46 or 48. But either way, it's a huge number, and I bet we missed at least half of them, because much of the road, like on the side of the road, it has really long grass, so a lot of those are hard to see, and then we're going reasonably fast by that. But yeah, I really liked Amealco. That road scares me though. Not because of anything that happened today. It's a nice road and doesn't seem bad, but whatever the reason, like there's lots of problems on that road.
Ven a mí, un abrazo de día, ven. Te extrañé mucho.
Okay, so here we got a couple of Lele dolls. We have a Laska saying hi, and oh, Pace is going crazy. Since we added that aerator, he's been a lot more active. And then we got the mariachi. What do you think? Really?
She wants a Juanito.
What's a Juanito?
Juanito.
Oh, Juanito.
Juanito.
Juanito. Hello from San Miguel de Allende.
Today we are so happy and so excited for finally being able to show you this whole new chapter of Tangerine Travels, going to many different places here in Mexico.
And today we're going to show you why people are crazy about this incredible city. When you're in San Miguel, something you cannot miss is going up to a rooftop to at least have a cocktail. Or in this case, we're having both a cocktail and lunch here at Sollano 18 by Vicente. So Vicente is a chain of steakhouses. We've actually been to the one at Amealco in Querétaro, and we really enjoy that place, so we decided to come here, and the view we have from our table is spectacular.
Something I didn't expect is that even when we've been to this restaurant in Querétaro, I already can notice some differences between both restaurants, like pretty good differences. So let's take a look on what's going next, because now I'm excited about it.
Me too, me too.
Huevo de hormiga. Viene con grasa de ribeye.
Okay.
Viene con tuétano en la parte de adentro y viene con epazote. El escamol como tal es un platillo muy exótico de México. Pocos restaurantes lo manejan, ya que su preparación tiene que ser muy exacta para que sepa bien. Tiene un sabor muy profundo, muy fuerte, pero a la vez también está muy rico. Si quieren probar algo diferente,
Es como
sí lo
caviar.
recomiendo. Como caviar,
Sí.
pero no es hueva de pescado, este es hueva de hormiga. Pero es
Ok.
básicamente lo mismo.
Ok, muy bien. Vamos a comenzar con los escamoles, por favor.
Perfecto, los voy mandando.
Ok, gracias. Salud.
A beverage I ordered for something called Lord Grey, which is actually a mocktail, means doesn't have any alcohol, and it says it's pineapple juice with lemongrass and a tea. Actually, I'm pretty surprised because it says that it has some sugar, but now that I'm drinking it, actually it doesn't have any sugar, so it's pretty refreshing. I'm loving it, and yeah, I could definitely order this again.
So I ordered a drink called Midnight in Paris, and it has Remy Martin, a banana liqueur, a pineapple liqueur, and then what else? One more thing. Kefir. Kefir?
Kefir.
I don't know how to say that word. How do you say it?
Kefir.
Kefir?
No.
Okay. All right. Definite prominent banana flavor. Okay. First, I taste the banana, and then comes the pineapple, but I don't taste the alcohol. I'm sure it has alcohol. It's just a very well balanced drink. One of my favorite things about San Miguel de Allende is all of the awesome restaurant options. There are so many incredible places to eat in this city with food from anywhere in the world that you want. So I highly recommend you check out some of the spectacular restaurants here in the city. Vamos a compartir tapa de ribeye de 750 gramos.
750, ok. ¿Qué término les gustaría? Se recomienda el término medio, pero no se
Okay. For our appetizer today, we got escamoles, which it's kind of hard to find on menus, and when you do, it's pretty darn expensive. Like this little appetizer is 390 pesos, so that's pretty typical, right? Like it's always pretty pricey.
Yeah, actually escamoles, for the one who doesn't know what are they, are basically known all over the world as a Mexican caviar. So
Okay.
escamole, it's like a Nahuatl word, which basically means like ant puree, but are the larvae of a species of ants. And you can think like, oh, it might be gross or something, but no, actually their flavor is so soft, and when it's cooked or combined with some other things like epazote or butter or garlic, the taste is amazing.
And in this case, I think it has all of those things: epazote, garlic, and butter, right?
Yeah, and also here they are accompanying the escamoles with bone marrow, which is one of our favorite things, like when we're going to steakhouse.
Yeah, so we're going to put some of these in a tortilla and kind of eat them like a taco. All right, let us know what you think of this.
It's amazing. You should try it, for real. I wanted to say that some months ago we went to a restaurant at Querétaro Centro and they sold escamoles and I insisted like 10 times that he should try it and he said no, I'm gonna hate that, and I was like no.
And I was like, you're crazy.
Really? Yeah, he was like, you're so crazy, and he was giving me a bad look that yeah, why are you trying to do the meat? And I was like, no, come on, you should try it. And he didn't want to try it, so I'm glad he had this chance today because it's one of the things that you honestly must have when you are coming to Mexico in these rainy seasons, because you won't be able to find escamoles unless it's the rainy season. So if you are here, give it a try.
I didn't realize it was a seasonal thing. So it's only for part of the year?
Yes.
Oh wow, okay, I had no idea. Okay, insect caviar. I'm a little scared. Okay, I'll just do it. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I hated the thought of it, but the taste is amazing. This tastes so, so good. I would have thought that ants were having babies all year long.
Yes, but this is for a specific species of hormiga, yeah, of ants. So those are, you can just find it on the rainy season.
So, do you think like the ants are more romantic during the rainy season, or?
It's because the señor was looking at me and yeah, it's because you were saying that you thought that the ants were having babies all year, and I said yes, but they become more romantic during the rainy season.
Tapa de 7.50, podemos filetearla.
For a long time, I've been wanting to try a rib cap, and today here we got a 750 gram rib cap, and the price of it, it's pretty steep, but for what it is, it's still a pretty good price. But it's 1,650 pesos for 750 grams, and if you speak ounces, that's about 26 ounces.
I don't even know how to describe it. It's so good, but it's different.
Is it juicy? Is it flavorful?
Yes, it's juicy and it's flavorful, but it's different. You should try it.
All right, first time trying tapa de ribeye or rib cap. Very easy to chew. Okay, that bite I had was pretty charred. I would like to try one that isn't so cooked. That was from the very end. I like it. I like it a lot. When staying at this Airbnb, you not only have access to this gigantic, amazing house, but there's also all this really cool landscaping in the backyard. There's a jacuzzi right down there. Here's a fire pit as well. And up here there's a place for meditation and all sorts of paths that wind around the backyard here. Our room is located inside of a villa a little outside of San Miguel de Allende. This place is gorgeous. They spared no expense on this place, down to the amazing blinds here, to this beautiful 4-poster king-size bed with like built-in marble or some kind of rock, and then all of these details in this wood. They must have spent a fortune furnishing this place. And then you have these gorgeous chandeliers, a nice fireplace. In here, recessed into the wall, is a nice armoire. This has been really great to have, and there's another armoire over there. I'll take you into the bathroom here. Really unique look to this place and the furniture. They have a certain look that they're going for. Man, oh man, did they nail it. Just beautiful. So we come in here. One of my favorite parts of this place is this private jacuzzi. And the lights can change color if you want in here. And right next to the jacuzzi, you have the shower right here. But then you can open up these windows and have views out to this beautiful, beautiful yard. And then right out here is the shared jacuzzi, but since there's only 3 rooms that are rented in this whole villa, you pretty much get that shared jacuzzi to yourself whenever you want to use it. But yeah, oh my gosh, there's so many pretty details to this place. And now we're staying here, so we have some of our stuff around. But man, oh man, am I enjoying my stay here. Oh, but I almost forgot to show you. Out here we have a little private patio that we can come and sit and have a cocktail or just enjoy the nature out here in these beautiful views. I love it. I don't know about you, but we like to eat. And one of the great things about San Miguel is for the size of the city, I think this place might have the best restaurant scene in all of Mexico. And there are no shortage of amazing restaurants. So today for lunch, we're gonna go to a place that's new to us, but highly recommended. So for lunch today, we're at this place called Zebu Allende, and it's inside one of the most expensive hotels in the city called Live Aqua. I really like the atmosphere in here. There's nice subtle music playing and just feels good to be in here. So I was just looking at our menus and I noticed that I'm like, oh, here's cauliflower tacos and shrimp tacos. And then I realized it was in English. And then I look over here and I see that hers is in Spanish. So they just assumed that I speak English. They assumed that she speaks Spanish. Come on, does she look any more Mexican than I do? ¿Qué vas a querer, ma?
Yo te encargo de ola de aguacate.
Para mí, los tacos de cauliflower, por favor. Okay, our food arrived about 15 minutes ago, but we had a little bit of an allergy scare that I'll tell you about in a little bit, but we haven't eaten any of this yet. Well, I got the cauliflower tacos. They look really good. It's rare that I find cauliflower tacos, so that's why I wanted to try it since it was something different. But Mai's food looks really interesting.
I ordered something that it's called avocado wave, which is basically a tuna ceviche that also has watermelon and green apple, that it's covered or rolled with avocado slices. It actually looks like a sushi roll, like
Yeah,
a sushi roll, but
it really does.
without the rice. So I'm really excited to try it, even though I don't want to cut it because it's so pretty.
Seriously,
and it
it's
has
super
a lot
pretty.
of flowers on the top, so I'm loving that. And I think they said that it also had a chipotle sauce surrounding it, so let's try it. Oh, it's so soft. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, wow. Look at that.
I'm pretty sure this is going to be a mess. Oh my gosh, I love it. And the flavor is so soft, but I can perfectly taste the watermelon and tuna and the avocado. I can feel the separated flavors. So
How about the apple? Or what
I
kind of apple?
can feel the apple, but because it's so crunchy, but I cannot taste it. So I think it's the apple. Actually, when the green apple used to be like sour, this one is so sweet because I cannot feel it or taste it. But actually, I'm loving this. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, let me give mine a try. Put some of this on. Okay, I'm excited for this. So I'm still hungry after these tacos, but they were really good. A little bit of spiciness, a nice amount of crunchiness, and a great flavor profile as well. And then I love the creamy sauce that comes along with it. I would definitely get these again. Would you get yours again, Mai?
Yeah, definitely. But I also think that I have enough space for something sweet.
Oh,
because this was so light. I mean, no carbs actually there. It was so healthy. I love it. I would like to have it again, but something's missing.
We got this dessert called trenza crujiente, and trenza actually translates to braids, as in hair braids, because it's the shape of the bread.
So this is basically a freshly baked puff pastry with a filling of cream cheese and a quincy paste. We call it here ate de membrillo. I don't know if you know what ate is, but it's actually a dessert that we usually eat with some kind of cheese. And in this case, I didn't know, but actually ate is not a Mexican dessert. It's a very common Middle East dessert, and it was brought to Mexico by the people from Spain. So that's why it's so typical now in Mexican cuisine.
Okay, and if you're not familiar with ate, that's spelled A-T-E, and if you've ever been in Mexico in January during Three Kings Day, it's sold in every single store, and it's usually this bread that's in an oval shape, and it has these slices of like red and green ate on the top of it.
It can be made for many different fruits, but the more common are quincy and guava, but it can also be made from different kinds of berries. And it's like
what'd you say? What and guava?
Guava and a quincy, which is membrillo.
Oh, I don't know that word.
Yeah, and actually it's like the pulp of the fruit, which is baked with a lot of sugar, and you let it like cook all the time and moving all the time, so you can have like a very sticky paste, and then you just let it stir and cool down, and you have like a jello but more thicker. So that's basically it.
Okay, well, let's dig in here.
I'm gonna try with a little bit of vanilla ice cream. I thought it was going to be quincy ate or quincy paste, but it's actually guava. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of guava, but it's good. I really like it. Yeah.
Okay, let me get a bite of this. Of ice cream. I love this.
Yes.
I like this a lot. It kind of tastes like some kind of sweet bread. Not a croissant. My first thought was a croissant. Yeah. But of course, like with vanilla bean ice cream and
yeah, it tastes like a croissant because it's made with the same pastry which croissants are made.
Okay. Cool.
So it's like a croissant with a very sweet filling on it.
Yeah.
So and it's a little bit hot right now, so it's really good.
When we got to that restaurant, one of the first things the hostess asked us, I cannot say that word. One of the first things the hostess asked us was if we had any allergies, and I said yes, that I'm allergic to avocado and walnuts. Well, we sit down at the table and they bring out some complimentary bread for us, and I take a bite of one of the pieces of bread and pretty soon realize that it has walnuts in it. Well, that gives me an anaphylactic reaction. It's not so bad that it's life-threatening, but it's bad enough to be very, very uncomfortable, and sometimes bad enough to make me pretty scared. Well, what works for me when this happens is Benadryl. Benadryl takes care of the problem and allows me to breathe again, but we didn't have any on us.
So the first thing that I thought I should do was to ask for help, because I didn't know where was a pharmacy or something close.
Yeah.
So I went with the hostess and tell her everything that was happening. So she called the manager, and luckily she went and gave us the medicine he needed.
Yeah, they went out shopping and found Benadryl for me. So That was really nice. They were very, very apologetic and were trying to do anything they could to help me out. And then at the end, they comped our entire bill, which was also nice. When it comes to what I thought of the place overall, though, I loved that restaurant, aside from the whole allergy issue. What did you think of it?
The food was excellent, and also something that I really appreciate and I really like about it is that people were so over the top kind with us. They were asking all the time, like every 5 minutes, how he was feeling, and for me that was that made me feel so relieved, because honestly I've never been in that kind of situation, so I feel supported all the time, so I really appreciate it from them.
But as for the restaurant, I liked the atmosphere. I thought the food was great. So, yeah, I'd go back there.
We were walking down the street and we found this alley that actually made me be so surprised, because it has a lot of colorful murals, and I'm a huge fan of hummingbirds, so I'm really loving this because it's a purple hummingbird with a lot of colors and a lot of flowers everywhere, so I want to stay here. Such a lovely place.
I'll tell you what, that's one thing I love about San Miguel, is all the colorful buildings and the murals. It's very much an artistic place. It's kind of like an artist's paradise. There's a lot of art galleries. In fact, we're headed to one right now. So as we were driving into San Miguel, Mai pointed out this mural, and she's like, oh my gosh, that's painted by one of my favorite artists, and the signature on it was called Los Calladitos.
Which in Spanish, callado means a people or a person that doesn't speak much.
She showed me some of their work on Instagram, and as it turns out, they have a gallery here in San Miguel.
We decided to come to this gallery, which is called Galeria Curandero, because once I saw this mural artist on Instagram and I fell in love with them.
So we wanted to go check out the gallery today, but unfortunately, they're closed. Something I love about San Miguel is that it's super pretty down almost every street. I love the architecture here, just the look of the facades and the sidewalks and everything. Although I don't really particularly like the functionality of the sidewalks, they look nice. But yeah, this has got to be one of the most picturesque cities in the whole country.
After a long time in town at San Miguel, we decided to do something different.
Yeah, so we came out to Hacienda San Jose La Vista, which is a little bit outside of the city, but it's this gorgeous vineyard out here. And at this vineyard, if you go into this building right here, up where these windows are, right there, well, they have a restaurant called Tarragon. By the way, if you want to come to Tarragon, be sure to call ahead and make a reservation before coming here, because otherwise you might not get through the front gate of the vineyard. And at the front gate of the vineyard, you're going to ring the call button and say reservación para whatever your name is.
Another little bit advice: if you decide to come here, never ever come with heels.
Yeah.
I brought stilettos.
You're being very careful, but walking on these rocks is no joke in heels, and you don't even have high heels on. These are fairly low heels. Anyway, wear something other than heels. We just had dinner there. I had the fettuccine, he had the risotto with seafood. The entrees are a little pricier because it's a nice ambiance you have here, and they're about 300 to 400 pesos each, but you have great views and it's a nice change of scenery from the city. Look how pretty it is back here in this vineyard. How you doing, Mai?
I have become a pro on walking with heels.
Over rocks.
I honestly shouldn't. I'm so irresponsible because I perfectly know that I shouldn't be wearing heels with my injury. But honestly, I never thought that it was going to be this far. And second, that we were going to have to walk. And Jordan asked me if I want him to carry me on, but honestly I didn't, because I'm wearing a pretty short dress. And that was going to be a mess. So here with my dignity on,
Oh my God.
I'm walking with heels.
And hopefully no broken ankles.
Yeah, and my ankle is perfectly fine. So I'm proud of myself. I'm going to be more responsible next time.
If I'm drinking a margarita, I want the alcohol flavor and I want the lime. I want the whole flavor. I want a balanced profile. So you go to the United States and you go to the Costco and you get to buy that Jose Cuervo Gold. You know what? That's not a great margarita. It's not a great margarita. They sell it, it's a blend, and it's not terrific.
We're doing a tequila tasting at La Chispa tonight, and this is the first one. This is direct from still, so it's 55% alcohol. So as Dina described it, basically they chop up the plant, they throw it in the oven, they put it through the still, or like it goes through the fermentation process, they put it through the still, and then the test says, okay, this isn't going to kill you, you can drink it. It might kill me though. Yeah, that's smooth. You don't want to try?
So you want to do a nice Blanco. And the Blanco is 0, you can actually put it out 0 to 2 months old, okay?
Next is Blanco, Herradura Blanco. This is the original Herradura. When the company started back in the 1800s, this is what they were producing, and they still make the same thing to this day. So this one's 46% alcohol. It's still going to be pretty strong, but not quite as sharp as the direct from still. But give that a try. Yeah, I mean, it still has bite to it, but it's definitely smoother than the direct from still. In this tequila tasting, we're going all the way through from direct from still to the most aged, the extra añejo. So next is the plata, so a little bit smoother, 38% alcohol.
This is reposado, and this is rested, and this is anywhere from 2 to 12 months would constitute a reposado.
All right, now we're doing the reposado, aged, was it 6 months to 11 months, something like that, I forget. But,
It tastes like wood.
like wood? Do you do a lot of eating wood?
No, but you can smell the wood. It tastes like that.
Now finally, we're on to one of my favorites. This is Herradura Añejo. So here for me, a reposado still has too much of a bite, but when you get to Añejo, it's going to be a lot smoother. This is one I can sip on. And I can sip on and enjoy it. The rest of those, when I'm sipping on them, I'm just like trying to get them down, you know. Now we're on to another one of my favorites. This is Herradura Ultra. So this is the añejo, but it's filtered and now it's clear. And if I remember correctly from the tour I did at the Herradura Hacienda, they add a little bit of agave syrup to this one to give it a little bit of sweetness. This is one of my favorite tequilas. All right, now we're up to the extra añejo, which to be extra añejo, it has to be aged at least 3 years. So this is where you get into the really expensive tequilas. We're talking a couple $100 or more a bottle, right? But there's a little twist here. They gave us 2 of them. One's Herradura Selección Suprema, and then the other is some other kind of extra añejo. And we're supposed to taste them both and say which one we like more. Ah, that's so smooth. That's good stuff. Okay, I really like that one. Have you tried them both?
Yes.
And what do you think? I've only tried number 1.
I tried both. The second one tastes more like vanilla or something like that.
Okay.
It's more sweet than the first one.
Do you prefer it?
I don't know if I prefer it. They're just different.
Okay, I'll try the second. Oh, I can smell the vanilla notes before I even taste it. I feel like number 2 has a little bit more of a bite after sipping it. I don't know which one I prefer.
So hard to choose. I think I prefer the second one.
I can tell the difference in the smell, especially. But you prefer the second one, and I'm torn. I don't know. I don't have a preference. Everyone in the room tried number 1 and tried number 2. And most people in the room said they preferred number 2. And then they dropped the bomb on us that number 1 is triple the price of the one that most people preferred. This was, number 1 was Herradura Selección Suprema, and then number 2 was a brand that very few people have ever heard of. A lot of times when you buy the fancy bottle with the fancy packaging, you're paying for that. And yeah, the cheaper one and the one that most people preferred had kind of an ugly bottle, no fancy packaging, nothing like that, but a third of the price. When you come to Mexico, everything's going to be totally different. The language, the culture, your sights and sounds, everything. So you're going to want to go home at the end of the day and visit your favorite websites. Well, a lot of those, when you go to visit them, they'll be in Spanish. Like for example, when I go to yahoo.com when I'm in Mexico, it gives me all Spanish articles and the news in Mexico. But to change this, I can activate a VPN and locate myself virtually back in the United States, and then yahoo.com turns back into English and news articles for the United States. If you'd like to check out my favorite VPN, you can go to tangerinevpn.com. That's my affiliate link and it will take you right there. They're running a sale right now. It's 83% off plus 3 extra months free. Again, that's tangerinevpn.com. We're now wrapping up our trip here, and I can honestly say that this is the single best Airbnb I've ever stayed in. This house is amazing, the room is gorgeous, the property as a whole is amazing, the hosts are great as well. I loved having Dennis as a bartender, making really unique drinks, eating Dina's breakfast every morning. The whole experience has been amazing, and it's about a quarter of the cost of staying at the Rosewood in San Miguel with a similar level of luxury here. So if you're coming to San Miguel, I recommend you check out La Chispa.
Hello from San Miguel de Allende.
In this video, we're going to be telling you some things you need to know before coming to the city.
Especially if you want to enjoy more your trip. We perfectly know that you might heard that Guanajuato is one of the most dangerous states here in Mexico, and San Miguel...
Gunshots! There!
Oh, I was so relieved to kick your ass.
No, so you might have just heard those rockets going off, and
they're not shotguns.
They're
Fireworks.
They're not gunshots. They're like fireworks, basically big bottle rockets going off. But San Miguel is located in the state of Guanajuato, which, as Mai was saying, is one of the most dangerous places in the country. However, San Miguel is actually reasonably safe.
To arrive safely from Querétaro, you can come 2 ways. The first one is by car. If you're coming by car, we recommend you to come during the day. It's like an hour, 45 minutes trip. If you're coming by bus, the ticket, it might cost around 100 pesos, 90 pesos, and it's pretty safe.
If you're coming from other places in Mexico, you can arrive by bus as well. That's usually a pretty good option. And if you're coming from the US or Canada, you can fly in Mexico City or fly into Querétaro and take private transportation or a bus from there to San Miguel. And on the topic of safety, if you're coming to San Miguel, it's pretty safe to be in this city, but there are a lot of trips you might want to take, like to vineyards or maybe to hot springs or other nearby cities. Well, since we're in one of the most dangerous states in the country, I would recommend you get the advice from locals, maybe your Airbnb host of the place you're staying at, to find out if it's safe to travel to whatever place you want to visit. Something you're going to want to do in San Miguel if you're shopping for local artisan products is to shop around and compare prices at various stores. Ma, you had an experience with this yesterday.
Yeah, for example, I was looking for a hat, and I totally recommend you to look at several of the stores, because you can find the same kind of hat, like double of the price. So don't stay with the first thing you saw. Try to compare and try to find the best option for you.
And if you want to find good prices on local artisan products, head on over to Mercado de Artesanías. It's not a far walk from Centro, from the parroquia, but the prices you're going to find in here are way better than around the main square in town. Before coming to Mexico, one of the pieces of advice I was given was to negotiate for everything here, that it's very much a haggling culture and people negotiate for everything. Well, as it turns out, this put me into a lot of awkward situations because this was kind of bad advice. For example, I started negotiating for the price of a cup of fruit from a fruit vendor, and you never negotiate for street food. That's just not something anybody does here. When it comes to shopping for artesanías though, it's a little bit more complicated about when it's acceptable to negotiate or not, but in general, a good idea I think to like get a fair price for you and for the vendor is, if you think it's a fair price, just pay the price, but if not, well then maybe you walk away or you say, voy a checar, or déjeme pensarlo, and déjeme checar. One of these phrases is going to like inform the vendor that, hey, I'm going to think about it, I'm going to shop around, voy a comparar, I'm going to compare, as in I'm going to compare with other stores to see if I think this is a good value, and if there's room for the price to come down, a lot of times right then they'll be like, okay, how about 400 pesos instead of 500 pesos? And here in San Miguel, I think it's generally a very good idea to shop around when you're looking for these artisan products. For example, my girlfriend was shopping for a hat yesterday. She went into one store and a hat was about 1,000 pesos. Then she went into another store and the same hat or a very similar hat was half the price. So it definitely pays to shop around a little bit, look at various stores. You're probably going to get a better idea of prices and come to a more fair deal for both yourself and for the vendors.
Another thing you should do is to arrive early in the morning, especially if you're coming from Friday to Sunday, because it's going to be crowded.
Yeah, and parking is pretty limited in this city. Like, there is street parking, like you can see behind us here. There's some cars parked on the street, but it is really hard to find parking on the street here. So then you'll have to go to a paid parking lot. And I would have thought that, oh, there will be plenty of space in the paid parking lot. But I remember coming to San Miguel once, driving a car here from Querétaro, and having to go to like 9 different paid parking lots before we were able to find one that had space available.
Another thing that happened to me is that once I tried to come here and the same happened. We were going all around the city trying to find a parking place. We also tried at the parking paid places, and we couldn't never find a place to park. So unfortunately we had to go back to Querétaro because it was too hard to find a parking place. So we couldn't stay.
Yeah, that really sucks. If you ever find yourself in a similar position, I recommend you go to La Fábrica Aurora. There's usually extra parking spaces available there. Or take your car to a fancy hotel like the Rosewood and valet your car there. It might be a little bit more expensive than the other paid parking lots, but your car will be secure and you'll be able to actually park your car so you don't have to go back to Querétaro. Something about San Miguel is you're at pretty high elevation here. It's 1,900 meters or 6,200 feet above sea level. So because of the higher elevation, that means the atmosphere is thinner and you're going to sunburn more easily.
So be sure to bring with you a shade or a hat or something to protect you from the sun.
I'm not protected.
No, I know.
Protect me, my.
And also be sure to apply sunscreen all the time. Dermatologists recommend to apply the sunscreen every 4 hours, so you should bring it in your purse or something, so you can be applying it every 4 to 6 hours.
Something I highly recommend when you come to San Miguel is to just stroll up and down all the streets, see the beautiful facades, see the gorgeous architecture, and this beautiful UNESCO World Heritage Site. There are so many awesome views and really cool things to see and great places to take pictures and all sorts of things like that. So walk around the city and just soak it all in when you're here. You can see all the crowds around us right now, and that's because we're here on a Sunday. And on the weekends here, it gets really busy and your hotel room is going to cost a lot more. So if possible, I recommend coming during the weekdays from Monday to Friday, because you're going to be fighting a lot fewer crowds. There's going to be a lot more space available at restaurants, things like that. And your trip is going to be a little bit cheaper because your hotel is less expensive. San Miguel has a great restaurant scene and has tons of awesome places to eat. But I recommend you do not skip the street food, because the street food can save you a ton of money and can be really tasty as well.
Something that you should notice when you're looking for some street food is to be sure that the place where you're going to buy something is super crowded. So that's going to mean that place is pretty good. If the place is empty, avoid it, keep looking. So that's something, or there's no better thing that talks better about a place of food is the lot of people that is eating there.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically Google Maps in Mexico. So like the Google reviews, you don't have Google reviews for street carts. So basically just more people, the closer to 5 stars it is. I think we should go get some ice cream.
Yeah.
Since this ice cream place is really busy, that's where we're gonna go.
En vaso, por favor. Yo quiero de garambullo y ¿tienes maracuyá? Mandarina. Mandarina, por favor.
¿Y el otro de qué sería?
Por favor, me das un vaso grande con coco y galleta Oreo.
We finally got our ice creams. I asked for tangerine dress.
No,
for a tangerine ice cream. I want a tangerine dress. You didn't catch the message? Just kidding. I asked for a tangerine ice cream, which is actually mandarina. So I'm gonna try it right now.
And the other one you got, I'm really interested in. You said it was garambullo.
Yeah, the second flavor I asked for, I'm gonna show you when I'm there, is garambullo.
I have no idea what garambullo is in English, but you said it comes from a cactus?
Yeah, garambullo is actually the fruit of a cactus that is native from the north and central part of Mexico.
Okay.
So I really love that flavor because it's actually like a blueberry, but its flavor is kind of different. I think garambullo has more flavor than blueberry, and you can just find it in this period of the year. So if you're
like July,
these months, yeah, like the time where it's raining a lot, you should try garambullo, because instead you will have to wait for a year to try it again.
Okay, yeah, I'm hoping you let me try it once you get down to that. And in mine, I got cookies and cream and coconut. Ma, you didn't wear any tangerine clothes today, so is that why you got tangerine ice cream?
I'm actually wearing a little bit tangerine on my sneakers, but nobody's gonna notice. I was thinking that is ice cream. It's not pretty sweet, so I'm loving it, and it's so refreshing. It's actually like having like a frozen mandarina juice. So I'm thinking that with a shot of tequila, this would be the perfect margarita.
So I just finished my cookies and cream, and now I'm down to the coconut. I'll give this a try. That is so refreshing, and there's real pieces of coconut in it. I love it. You're down to your garambullo?
Yeah, I finally ate all my tangerine ice cream. When I arrived to garambullo, I'm gonna show you this. because I especially love this color. It's amazing. And I'm realizing that this ice cream actually has very big pieces of the fruit, so I'm really enjoying it. Do you want to try?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never tried this fruit before. Okay. It's really good. It's really flavorful. I'm trying to think if it's like a flavor I know, but I can't think of anything. To me, it doesn't taste like blueberry.
It doesn't taste like a blueberry at all. I mean, if you look and just search garambullo, the fruit, it's similar to blueberry, but its flavor, it's not like a blueberry at all.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know if someday you've tried tuna, which is like another fruit from cactus.
Yeah.
But I think the taste is so similar, like tuna, like the red tuna.
And we're not talking about red tuna fish, we're talking about a little fruit that comes from a cactus.
But I think this has more flavor. But yeah, the interesting thing is that it looks like a blueberry. Also, I can say that garambullo, yeah.
One thing, red tuna, are you thinking of pitaya?
No.
No?
They are like two different kinds of tunas. The red tuna, which color is similar to garambullo, and the green tuna, that are the ones that you can find easily everywhere.
Okay, I see green tuna everywhere. Like, you can buy a whole bushel of them for like $1 or $2. They're so cheap on the side of the road.
Yeah, red tuna for me are better. It has more flavor, but they are not easy to find. So if someday you find a place where they sell like red tuna, try it. It's worth it.
So nearby San Miguel, there's a lot of pretty cool places to visit. For example, there's quite a few vineyards around. Do you remember the name of that place that you really wanted to go to?
Ah, yes, Viñedo Tres Raíces. It's half an hour away from San Miguel Centro.
Yeah, and yesterday we went to Hacienda San Jose La Vista, which is another really cool vineyard, super pretty out there. But there's also hot springs and grutas. There's a lot of stuff to see nearby. And about an hour away is the town of Dolores Hidalgo, which is actually the birthplace of Mexico. So if you're interested in history, you might want to check out Dolores. When visiting San Miguel, you'll find that most of the restaurants here do accept cards, and most of them accept all cards, including American Express. However, Discover card is super rare to be accepted in Mexico, so you usually can't pay with Discover. However, you will find that there are a lot of shops here and taxis and things where you need cash. So in order to get cash in pesos, I recommend, if you can, to get a Charles Schwab investor checking account, because with one of these checking accounts, you get unlimited ATM fee rebates worldwide, and you get charged no ATM fees either. So at the end of every month, any ATM fees that you incur during the month, you get them all refunded to your account, which is super, super nice and convenient to get out those pesos at no extra charge. Oh, and on the topic of credit cards, the most commonly accepted cards in Mexico are Visa and MasterCard. So if you have either one of those, that's going to be your best bet for your card that you can use almost everywhere. But look up on your card to see if it charges any foreign transaction fees, because most cards charge a 3% foreign transaction fee. But if you can get like a travel credit card that doesn't have any foreign transaction fees and is a Visa or MasterCard, that's going to be your best bet. But American Express is starting to be accepted a lot of places as well. And regarding restaurants, another tip I have for you is to make reservations at whatever place you want to go to, because a lot of these places fill up very quickly, especially on weekends and especially on Mondays. And you might be like, why Mondays? Well, that's because on Mondays, a lot of restaurants around the city are closed. I call them Muerto Mondays, Dead Mondays. You make use of OpenTable to make reservations, and if that restaurant that you want to go to isn't on OpenTable, give them a call or go into the restaurant and get your name on the list. Otherwise, you might be going to a grocery store or a taco stand or something for dinner. Although, now that I say that, it might not be so bad.
Another thing we highly recommend you is to come with very comfortable shoes. Avoid those shoes that you hadn't used before. Try to find shoes that have about like an inch of surface, like down surface, and avoid flat shoes and heels.
I made one of those mistakes on this trip. I brought new shoes with me, and my feet have been really hurting because although San Miguel is really walkable in terms of everything is really close by and you can walk to a lot of restaurants and museums and art galleries and things like that, I mean, trying to break in new shoes has really been kind of painful with my feet.
Yeah, and we are not talking about any specific brand of shoes. We perfectly know that the best shoes you can use are the one you feel more comfortable with. So at the end of the day, it's pretty important, and it's going to make a huge difference about enjoying your trip when you're using the right shoes.
Yeah, and I also recommend bringing shoes that have good grip, because a lot of these sidewalks in San Miguel, when they get wet, they become very slippery, and I've almost eaten concrete a few times personally. So shoes with good grip are highly recommended to walk around San Miguel. When talking about sidewalks being slippery when wet, this stone in particular right here, this is the kind that gets really, really slippery when it rains. So just be very careful when you're walking around here, especially if it's been raining or if someone's been cleaning outside and the ground is wet or anything like that.
Another thing I can recommend you, especially if unfortunately you didn't bring a pair of shoes you're not comfortable with, is to change or modify the way you're walking through this different kinds of surfaces.
Yeah, throughout San Miguel there's lots of different sidewalks with different kinds of slopes, and they can kind of be tricky to walk on.
Yeah, so I highly recommend that instead of walking normally, you can like give lateral steps. So that's going to make easier for your foot to adapt to the surface without feeling that you're going to fall or having an injury at your ankles. Something we really love about San Miguel is that the whole town is full of art.
Yeah, there are so many galleries around town and murals and cool streets. Like it's not exactly art, but there's like beautiful facades on the buildings and things like that. So yeah, if you're in town, go check out some of the galleries. Like the street we're on right now that's close to the parroquia has a lot of galleries. There's also a place called Fábrica La Aurora, I believe is the name of it, with a bunch of art galleries in there. So yeah, they're all spread out around town, but it's kind of an artist's paradise here.
So if you really like this video, please share it with your friends and family.
And click on this video that we recently made together. I think you'll really like that one as well. Hello from the beautiful Jalpan de Serra.
Jalpan. No, Jalpan.
Hello from the beautiful Jalpan. No. Jalpan de Serra. Okay, let me do it one more time. Hello from the beautiful Jalpan de Serra.